right there. I tried to get. Oh, there I go. Turned up. Hey, turned up, you heard?
Yeah, that was my 15 seconds of fame right there. You know what I'm saying? I love that part. You know what I mean? Shout out to the intro. Shout out to the Brooklyn Nets. Shout out to me, big fan Breezy, with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. Shout out to all the Nets fans. We the best fans. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Shout out to everybody that subscribed. Shout out to all of the members of the page. Y'all already know what this is, man. Again, man, shout out to Players for Keeps 2020. Shout out to Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. We finna talk about it, man. You already see the NBA made this game one. We're gonna get to it. Now, at the end of the day, I want y'all to pay attention to the graphics in the back as the coach's game plan and defensive sets. Because that's what I'm finna get into while nobody on the panel. And yeah, man, on that note, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to do some configurations, you know what I mean? I have to reconstruct some things, you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, that being said, you know, we out here. You got Mikel Brown Jr. versus Darius Acuff Jr. Tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Now I pulled up to strictly talk my shit. Know that. Um, First and foremost, I feel like Mikel Brown Jr. is gonna be in a situation where he's gonna be the number one option. They're gonna give him the green light. Anytime there's a rookie, they give him the green light to on the offensive end. So this is gonna be a straight up battle. And if there was ever gonna be a 1v1 type of situation where they going at each other and it might depend on who win the game with Mikel Brown Jr. having the guard Darius Acuff Jr. and we win on defense because of our point guard, or Mikel Brown Jr. winning on offense because he could beat Darius Acuff Jr. to the basket. You know what I'm saying? We're going to really see what it is. Shout to Money Mike. He a moderator in the page. What's good, man? Yeah, man, this is just a precap to tomorrow's game between Mikel Brown Jr. and you know what I'm saying, Darius Acuff Jr. Shout out to the Shaolin Villain, uh, moderator and a member of the page. And that's another thing too. I've got to be honest. You know, part of this show is about the perks that I want the members to have on this show. Now, one of the perks is if you're a member of this show, you get to come on a panel first and talk more than somebody that's not a member. You know, I'm gonna start making that a thing just to give it at a privilege. Like I'm not just, you know, asking you to be the member and you don't get no privilege. The privilege is you get to talk longer than somebody that's on a panel that's not a member. You know what I'm saying? The members, they have that access through the membership, whether it's $1 or $10 or whatever love y'all showing. Now I'm only saying that to say that's from now on. Leaf could rock. He could join the panel and talk his shit. Brooklyn LM, he could join the panel and talk his shit. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no membership, you know what I'm saying? You can talk a little shit, but I gotta slow it down. You get to like that 2 minute, 3 minute mark, I'm gonna have to slow you down. Like, nah, that's enough of your soliloquy. You know, slow your soliloquy down because you're not a member yet. Like I said, it's only $1. If you don't wanna, it's only $1 holler. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, shout to Money Mike. Um, he said, "Is the game tomorrow?" I thought it was the 14th. Nah, that's the 4th. This the first summer league game. Everybody want to see this, Money Mike. This shit is people gonna be putting money on this, Money Mike. This shit ain't no game. This shit finna get real tomorrow. I forget the time, but I'm about to pull it up. I'm about to, you know what I mean, make sure because you said the 14th. I said the 4th. You know what I'm saying, let me make sure. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, man, I think Mikel Brown Jr. and Darius Acuff Jr., this is going to be a rivalry from the beginning. Mikel Brown Jr. is one of the more mature players that I hear speak and talk basketball. Like, he ready for the media. He ready for the competition. He told dude Cedric Coward I might dunk on you depending on the situation. Like, whatever y'all ready for, Mikel, whatever competition the NBA has, Mikel Brown Jr. is getting ready for it. You know what I'm saying? He teaching Diego how to dribble. Like, what is we talking about? So I don't know how I'm gonna finesse this for real, cause I'm gonna be with my family tomorrow. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know how I'm finna watch this game. I'm gonna try to watch it. Um, hold on, let me check right now. Yeah, no luck. I found it. Alright, here you go. Alright, here you go. Shit, I was trying to find, you know what I'm saying, find some graphics, make it all pretty like, you know what I mean? But shit, I just found the, you know what I mean, potatoes, carrots to it. I would have said meat, but that would have been the pause. And I don't even eat meat besides fish. But anyways, enjoy July 4th, man. July 4th. Nets beating the Kings. That's how I'm gonna enjoy my July 4th. That's how I'm gonna enjoy it. Let me see. Uh, they play this game in California. It's in Sacramento. It's a road game. You know what I mean? It's all good. You're on the road, Cali. You know what I mean? Good things about Cali, like being the Sacramento Kings. It's 5 o'clock Eastern. You feel me? I might be able to watch some of that game. I don't know. But I'm gonna let y'all know though for sure. I'm gonna at least watch the highlights before I pull up. That's a fact. Watch it with y'all and shit. There you go. What it say? What it say? It say context. This matchup was part of a high-profile rookie showcase as both teams featured top 26 draft picks. You know, Mikel Brown Jr. and the other guy. You know. Let's get it. So yeah, man, it's tomorrow, Money Mike. You know what I'm saying? We rock it. Let's see. I think the best thing for Mikel Brown Jr. to do is play as a teammate next to Diego. Because Diego is, you know what I'm saying, in his sophomore year, and he come back for the summer league the next year. You get to go to the summer league as a rookie and as a sophomore. So it's gonna be Diego, and it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, Mikel Brown Jr., you know what I mean, versus Darius Acuff Jr. We got the advantage already. That's a fact. Word. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm looking for. That's a fact. This is what I'm looking for right here. I'm looking for it immediately. Now y'all heard what I say. You know, I know y'all think, you know, I might be playing. I'm letting you know when I throw this link in the chat. If you ain't a member, finna stay in that studio for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? I gotta let the members go first. I gotta give them that privilege. Otherwise, I'm just like, you know what I mean? I want them to separate the members from the rest of regular or the rest of the panel. I mean, or if the member want to give grace to somebody that's not a member and let them, you know what I mean, get shit off or something like that, you know what I'm saying, then that's cool, you know what I mean? But we gonna see. Shout out to Devon NYC. That avatar fire. You know what I'm saying? Word. Players for Keith said Breezy. I think we could low key make the play in. Me too. Word. Me too. If we play hard, the identity of the Brooklyn Nets happen now. You know what I mean? The 2 tanking seasons, you call it what you want, but at the end of the day, they ain't supposed to be your identity when you tanking. Of course, we ain't got no identity when you tanking. How you supposed to have an identity when you objective is to lose? People Hernandez in the studio. People Hernandez, not, you know what I'm saying, you're not a member, you know what I mean? So hold on. Let me finish this real quick, you know what I'm saying? Word. I gotta give special privileges to the members. You know what I'm saying? If the members pull up, I gotta give them special privileges. If you're not a member, it's only $1. How? Now, I'm saying that. Damn, man, I lost my train of thought. But I think everything Brooklyn Nets John, that's my guy, man. But he ain't a member neither, man. Hold it down, John. I got you, my guy. I got you. know what I'm saying? I gotta give privileges to the members, you know what I'm saying? I like people's and I like John. Y'all know I like John, you know what I mean? John is always on the pimp, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanna be clear, you know what I mean? Just for clarity, you know what I'm saying? I gotta make being a member a privilege. That is the specific topic. Now that being said, I said when you got Mikel Brown Jr. and Diego Domin versus a Darius Acuff Jr., then we got the advantage automatically. Diego taller, stronger, bigger. I seen him dunk on somebody, two people the other day. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe my eyes. Devon NYC said we actually have Brit now. Mm-hmm. It's FIFA bro said Breeze you. Yeah, of course. Of course. Of course. I'm definitely ready. You know what I'm saying? Always ready. And it gotta be this way. It has to be this way. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I want it to be Darius Acuff Jr. understanding that this is not just you versus Mikel Brown Jr. It's a duo. This team is a straight duo. It's a duo. You know what I'm saying? Word. Yo, John. What up, John?
What's going on, Breeze?
Chilling, man. You know, I'm just trying to give privileges to the members. You know what I'm saying? So that way, it's an understanding that it is both. It worked both ways. You know, I'm not just asking, for the membership, but it worked both ways. Where it's a privilege to be on a panel and come here and talk his shit and long periods of time. Like, say for instance, it's two people on the panel. One got a membership and one don't. Right? Don't it make sense to give more talk time to the one that got a membership?
I mean, yeah, if that's how you want to roll with that. For me, I just always deliver the best content I deliver, man. Whether it's a post, whether it's a promo, like I'm just everything beacon his John, man. I don't let membership define how I roll, man. But I understand where you go for these.
Yeah. All right. So when I say, I'm not saying it defines you. I'm saying at the end of the day, it's like a scenario where you got the best content created. Like, people not just pulling up, maybe they are. You know what I'm saying? People could be pulling up, just to get their shit off, and like you said, just do their own content and not really want to contribute to the page. My thing is the acknowledgement. That's what I'm more so what I'm talking about, because it's not necessarily just for me. It's for fans. It's for the voices of all fans. There's shows that don't let nobody up. You feel what I'm saying? There's shows that don't throw the link in the chat. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say that it's not about defining the membership. It's just showing support. You know what I mean? I don't think it's wrong for a content creator to ask for support. If somebody going to be on a panel with you giving the same content, you feel what I'm saying? Because if it was the other way around, that's where the other support come from. If you got a spaces, I'm going to pull up. I'm going to share your spaces. If you got a podcast, I'm going to pull up. I'm going to share your podcast. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to do the same things. You know what I mean?
Like, I totally understand that, Breeze. And everybody I've ever interacted with, I've always elevated their content. I've always told people to check their stuff out. Like, whether you're part of my content or not, if I've had some type of interaction with you, I always try to make sure you get your due credit too, man. It's just how I've always been. But I get what you're saying, man. I really do.
I don't know if you do. But go ahead, John. Talk your shit.
Nah, but I'm excited about tomorrow night. It's first of all, it's Happy America 250. But again, we care about one of the potential biggest title fights ever. We got one side, Darius Too Tough Acuff, and on another side, we got Big Time Kel. Like, these two guys, there's a rivalry there. These two know they're going to compete against each other for a long time, and they're both starting out their careers against each other in their first ever Summer League games. Like, there's a lot of excitement for that for sure. And just like it's not just about Mikel, Jaeger as well. This is his second year We're seeing the height difference. We're seeing some muscle build. He tried to dunk the ball yesterday. I came up with Yegor Dunkman, which actually got him to respond within my content to somebody. So shout out to Yegor, man, for paying attention. That's really cool. But yeah, it's not just about Mikel. It's about Yegor too. That's a duo right there. That is what we spent our lottery picks on. And Mikel's success is tied into Yegor's success and vice versa. And for everybody that's like upset with how Sean Marks went about this offseason, really, it's a true test for those two guys to prove they are the cornerstones of the future and that they can lead this team. So there's a lot of pressure on their shoulders, but so far, both of them seem up to the task. And tomorrow, we're in for some excitement, some fireworks, if you will.
Right. Yeah, of course. And again, like I said, I feel like for instance, Jelly Smith, he said it's a perk for being a member, and it's only $1. If you can support Breezy and all work he puts into this, and I know he probably talking about time and energy because, yeah, you know what I'm saying. I respect the work that I see, and I'll be trying to build a fan base. Like I really be respecting John, respecting. I think Tone. I see him a lot. I see DJ. He be doing spaces. I be trying to support all of these guys because I know we ain't got the back of the big media. You think I'm playing around? This a real community. We could build it if we support each other. But if we don't support each other and everybody in it for their own just so they could get the best content, nah. Shit, I'm sharing everybody. I'm trying to share. I'm trying to be better at that. I'm trying to be not just a great podcaster and content creator, but a great teammate. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's how I'm trying to do it. And you know, that's why I'm pushing the whole membership. And again, it's to say I want other fans to get their shit popping too. And I'm talking about Nets fans specifically. Like I'm talking about just our fan base and what it's like being in how you say this part of this media and seeing what it is. And for one, I would say that the fans do have a voice. Like you say, Diego Domen responded to you earlier. That's fire. That's we need more than that. We not big media until we big media. Like, who else repping Diego Domen? You hear any of the other pundits saying anything about Diego Domen?
Only Brooklyn.
What are they saying about the Brooklyn Nets? They've been quiet. Everybody talking about all of these other trades. We got to do what we do. We got to support each other. So, again, it's not only about being a member. Shout out to all of the subscribers. Shout out to everybody that be in the chat just watching. Shout out to all of the content creators that just like be in the comments and just watch the show. Shout out to all of y'all. You feel what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying is that the Nets fan base specifically, we have to support each other. And, again, it's not only about membership. It's about just the support. Share the content. We don't got big media on our side. They don't talk good about the Brooklyn Nets. And when they do speak of us, it's not necessarily a threat to be contenders at the NBA championship. And I don't like that. I ain't comfortable with that shit. I don't want to be in the Knicks shadow. I don't want to be in the Knicks fan shadow. I ain't doing none of that shit. I'd rather kick up dust. I'd rather go out fighting. Fuck that. Like, so I'm on that shit. But we ain't big media until we ain't got big media until we big media. The biggest net fan shit I heard is what John said today when Diego responded to his tweet. I'm talking about that shit all night. What is y'all talking about? Like, it may not be a big thing for y'all, but it's a big thing for us. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, facts. And, you know, it's not even just about Mikel and Yegor. Like Drake Powell, this is a huge summer league for him. He's probably the one prospect I say that's on the outs with Jordy. I don't know how great their relationship has been since we last saw them, but given that Keon Ellis, who is one of Jordy's best players he's ever coached, is now on this team, Drake Powell has to be guns a-blazing this whole summer league. Show us improvements on everything, offense, defense, and show that he has the killer instinct. He can't say, I need people to believe with me. So just as important as it's for Mikel and Yegor to be the future leaders, Drake Powell has to be in the middle of all this. So for his whole game this summer is going to be important to watch. We have to see a lot from him too. So it's going to be good, these summer league games, to see how these guys have evolved, what they've gotten better at, and what they still have to improve at. But it's definitely going to give us a good tail of the tape to go with as we get a little preview of what they can do going into training camp and preseason. So it's going to be exciting.
yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I'm excited to see the duo. You know what I mean? And the most important thing about it is that the NBA even knows popping. If it wasn't, they wouldn't make it the first game. They ain't making us wait long at all. It's the very first game. I mean, I don't know if it's the very first game, but they knew the match Nets versus Sacramento as the first game. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I know that. I know that the NBA is even watching this matchup. The NBA is watching this rivalry. The NBA, we got something to prove to the NBA. We got to prove that we didn't go wrong with Mikel Bridges because I said Mikel Bridges, Mikel Brown Jr. Mikel Brown Jr. And Yegor, because again, I think that's more what we need to look at, more of the leap of Yegor individually and as a teammate. Individually, I think he's going to take more shots. I think everybody on that bench gave him the confidence to shoot more. Now, my thing is his IQ. What's his shot selection like? Well, is all of them 3-pointers, or he going to incorporate the 2-pointer into his game? Somebody like Mikel Brown Jr. could utilize a Yegor Domin incorporating 2-pointers into his game, cut it to the basket. You 6'8". You trying to tell me you ain't got the mismatch on none of the two guards? I don't believe that. I think Mikel Brown Jr. need to be aggressive as a teammate. Tell Yegor you need to take some 2-pointers. Those some of them little two guards on the post. Get the ball. It's action time, bro. It's straight up action. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, it don't have to be one dimensional. And you know me, run the pick and roll with Yegor. You 6'5", he's 6'8". You trying to tell me Mikel Brown Jr. and Yegor Domin can't run the pick and roll together? The pick and pop? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm gonna probably rewind these shows and watch it myself. But at the end, I know that these two as a duo is more a conversation opposed to Mikel Brown Jr. just being the rookie. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. I think for Mikel, he's talked a brilliant talk so far. He said all the right things. He's spoken with a lot of bravado. And this first game, we're going to see if he backs it up. Like he obviously wasn't our top choice, but we both said that he would fit in our system, that he would be a good guy for Jordy to mold from the ground up. And Mikel has talked that talk. Now we got to see him walk the walk. Same with Yegor. And, it's going to be tough for them this season because we don't exactly have a legit center. The Dayron stuff we've talked about in detail. Then you have Danny Wolf and Mo Wagner, who could both be centers or however they want to go about it. But I really wish we could have got a legit center this summer because it's important for Mikel and Yegor to have a center they can run offense to set screens, be lob threats, rebound a lot more. I know Dayron rebounds exceptionally well, but Dayron doesn't excel at everything else that besides the rebounding factor. So it's going to have to be a committee thing with the bigs we have on this team. Like I want our two backcourt guys succeed a lot, but they're going to need a lot of front court help, not just what Randall and MPJ could do offensively, but that center position, it really needs a lot of work, man. Like I feel like we're gonna show up this season where we can, but not having a legit center, it makes it a lot tougher, man. That's just something a lot of people are a little worried about. But I hope Mikel and Yegor can put on a great first year together as a duo and really prove everybody wrong. But the center position is tough, man, to fathom a little bit.
I just think at the end of the day, I was probably, wrong about Jordy Fernandez schemes as a coach. I thought more of the theme of what he did was the defensive side of the ball, but with the personnel, it just looked like he focused on the offensive side of the ball. I can't lie to you.
Right.
That's my thing. Like my whole thing where I was, to have my synopsis about Jordy Fernandez and what kind of coach he was a defensive coach. Like, yeah, he focused on the defense, this, that, and the third. But the truth is, the personnel we got, they more focused on the offensive side of the ball. Like, I don't expect Randall to play better defense than his offense. Yo, you mean a bag of chips, mother? Like, come on, bro.
Nah, I'll just open it up. So,
my fault. I ain't mean to mute you, bro. Like, come on, man. I think Jordy Fernandez personnel is more offense. I think Michael Porter Jr. offense is better than his defense. I think all the players that we got, their offense is better than their defense. So I don't see the ideology of Jordy Fernandez being a defensive coach. So I gotta walk that back. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like I thought he was going to be this defensive coach. You got Keon Ellis, but come on, like he's not just. I mean, he's not Kawhi Leonard. Like, I imagine he's going to be good, but I don't think you know what I'm saying? If I had to say that Jordy Fernandez was an offensive coach or a defensive coach from what I've seen, he's an offensive coach. So that's just what it is.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that's why maybe Danny Wolf, if he has a great summer league, because we haven't talked about him yet about his summer league performance. If he has a great summer league, like maybe to what Leaf is saying, he does deserve a chance to start. I mean, if we're defensively not going to be great much this season, then offensively, you can have a fun starting five of Randall, MPJ, Wolf, and then Jaeger, Mikel. I think offensively, those guys are going to show up on some teams, but obviously defensively, it's going to take just effort at this point. But at that point, I'd rather have Dayron off our bench, because at least Dayron, we know what he gives you off the bench. Solid rebounding numbers. He can do well with Nolan. So I'd rather keep Dayron as a backup. I just feel like as a starter, his weaknesses going to get magnified early on, and Jordy's going to hook him early on. So it's like, why put Dayron in a bad position? We already know he's solid as a backup. So maybe Danny Wolf is the guy to gamble with, even though that obviously has a lot of defensive worries too. So we'll see, man. It's going to be a roller coaster ride with that center position this year. It really is.
Like, I think it's going to be a lot of group rebounding, but Ashton, go ahead, Ashton. What you going to say, bro?
Nah, I wanted to say sorry. I didn't think the mic was picking it up. I was just opening up the bag. My bad. But
oh yeah. I just be focused on the quality of the show. You know what I mean? That ain't it. But yeah, again, you still here. You know.
Yeah. My bad. But I'm just excited for basketball. Like, I didn't see the first game. I'm gonna watch the Lakers and Golden State game in a minute. But now I'm very excited for this matchup. I've always liked seeing these two go at it. For Darius Acuff and Mikel Brown. I always like their matchups going against each other since high school, but I want to see how.
So, I mean, I don't know what happened in high schoal with them. What happened with them when they matched up?
Oh, they were going bucket for bucket. Pretty much, they were giving each other the business.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much how I could just say and say what I want to say from it. But now I want to see. I just got to see how y'all teams stack up with their, because I don't know if the Kings are bringing back any of their other rookies they had from last year. I don't know if Maxine Reynaud is playing. I don't know if all these other guys are playing. So I just got to see their lineup. But I want to see how your rookies handle. I want to see what their progression was from last year. Pretty much, that's what I want to see. That's all, because I like seeing young players develop and all that.
Hey, I mean, you're gonna see it. They're gonna get the green light to Mikel Brown Jr. You know what I'm saying? These rookies got the green light. I seen it happen with Cam Thomas. I seen it last year with Jaeger. I seen it with and again and I'll give Jordy Fernandez credit to say that he did start all of those 5 players that we got in the first round. But I need to see Mikel Brown Jr. start the season. I don't need him coming off the bench for Nolan Traore, none of that.
He went 1,000% to start. He went 1,000% to start.
Yeah, he's come on, like, that should be the obvious, but I'm just saying that because that's what I was thinking. My net fan thoughts.
Another thing I will say about when y'all said Danny Wolf should start, I understand, but I want to also point this out. Dayron could perform without the basketball in hand. You need at least somebody there that you don't have to say, okay, for him to look like he's in the motion of the game, give him the ball. Like, you need some people like that, some off-ball spacers like that. So
I hear you, Ashton, but he still can't set a screen going into year 6. He can't dribble a ball. He also gets into foul trouble. Like, I like Dayron when he gives rebounding wise. He can lob here or there, but I just feel like those weaknesses to be a starter, they get magnified quickly. And just for Dayron, he's never gotten better at those things. I feel like he's great as a backup role guy, but you're asking him now to play like almost 29, 30 minutes a game now as a starter. And he's been injury prone too. Like, you're asking a lot.
I understand that, but I also want to say, I believe right now, as we're going into it, I think if you put Danny Wolf in the starting rotation, you're going to hold him back in development, because if he's coming off the bench and he's able to show you how good of a passer, ball handler, and what a good decision maker he is, he will have more opportunities on the bench without the main starters out there with him as much. That's how I look at it too. Because if you
hold on, time out. Let me say this, because I feel like the thing is with Mikel Brown Jr., more Jaeger Doman than Mikel Brown Jr., but look for him to be a rebounding guard, a defensive rebounding guard. And look for him and Danny Wolf to push. Look for Danny Wolf to help Jaeger to get past half court. Yeah, of course, they're going to get aboard of Mikel Brown Jr., but he a rookie. They're just not going to leave him on an island by himself and getting up half court. Jaeger Doman is going to become a defensive rebound guard. He's a big guard. He's 6'8". If he can learn how to block out and just defensively, like, get that rebound and push with Danny Wolf starting, a lot of our points, like I said, I think we're going to be a high-power offense. It's going to come from the fast break. Us trying to play in the transition game. We're not going to be running X's and O's with that roster all the time. Some of the times when we're trying to get fast breaks, it's going to be because of Jaeger and Danny Wolf pushing pushing the ball up court. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, bro. I don't want Danny Wolf coming off of the bench for Day'Ron Sharpe. Day'Ron Sharpe gonna slow him up. Mikel Brown Jr. Day'Ron Sharpe play a lot of times under the rim. You're not dunking like that. You know what I'm saying? And Mikel Brown Jr. is not throwing him picks like that. At least with Danny Wolf, you could get creative or pick and rolls, pick and pops. You could do stuff with Danny Wolf in a half court. I'm not starting Day'Ron Sharpe over Danny Wolf.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if you're gonna have Danny Wolf play, then you have to make everybody attack the glass. It can't just be one. You have to get everybody to commit on attacking the glass. Think about the Warriors for a second. Everybody on their team, when they weren't having a real deal big lineup, they had everybody attack the glass. When a shot was missed, they didn't even think about transition. They all went to the paint.
It's going to be a safari, Ashton, on defense, what Breezy said. I mean, if the best thing we can do is have some type of offensive identity, that's where you got to start. Like, there's arguments why Danny should start and why he shouldn't. What you're saying, like, Day'Ron probably is a better big than Wolf is. Wolf's more of a forward. But at the same time, if you want to see Wolf seize the opportunity and really excel offensively and as a playmaker, probably the starting lineup is the best way to go. As far as the bench goes, Keon Ellis, our best defender. It's crazy. I think most of our best defenders are guards coming off the bench, and we have over 7 guards, which obviously is a problem in itself. We don't exactly have any takeover wings off the bench other than that Joshua Jefferson kid who we've yet to see play in actual games. So, like, for me, I'd rather have Day'Ron off the bench because at least he can help rebound and give some of our extra bench guys extra shots, whereas with Wolf, at least you have an offensive identity in the starting lineup with Mikel, Jaeger, etc. So that might be the best of a bad situation where we're just in a bad situation with the roster construction.
I understand what you're saying, but then I'm going to ask you this question. In the starting lineup, who do you think is the best defender in that starting lineup?
I mean, if you ask him right now, maybe Michael Porter Jr. because he just rebounds well. That's not really saying a lot. I agree.
I'm gonna give it to Danny Wolf because Danny Wolf will foul you knowing that we got center depth. So he gonna foul you, and then he just added 10 more pounds. And I want y'all to remember the reason why I mentioned his weight is because Claxton was 215 when he got traded, and you know what I'm saying. Danny Wolf, he's 260 right now, so the 260. I just want to be clear. I wasn't saying 216 and he 1 more pound than Nick Claxton. Nah, he's 260. That's a center. And we never really seen Danny Wolf in that light. And they did a lot of different things with Danny Wolf last season. But if they could just have him at the center and let him run point center on offense and just be a kind of try to see if he could be an anchor on defense, I'm with that because they got 3 centers so he could commit the foul. He get in foul trouble, you put in Day'Ron Sharpe or the other dude, what's his name, Mo Wagner?
Yeah, Mo.
Oh, yeah.
So like you could do that. So that I'm thinking that they're gonna ask Danny to be aggressive, take risks. I think they're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy that I can't say they're gonna make him the Danny Wolf might play tomorrow too. Is Danny?
Hang on, that's why I asked because
we about to destroy the Sacramento Kings, man.
He's going against Reynard, right? It's going to be Reynard versus Danny. Oh boy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter how old. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're on your rookie scale deal. It's either you can't be you can't have like a big contract. You can be on your rookie scale deal or like a 2-way guy.
Danny Wolf take him out to that deep water. It would take him to that 3-point line. Renard is getting in foul trouble, or Danny Wolf is going to score. Like you cannot guard. That's when the 5-and-out offense makes sense. When one of their best defensive guys is their center, and you got to play like Danny Wolf that bring him outside. But come out here to the 3-point line. Give him work. I seen Danny Wolf at the 3-point line. He gonna give Renard work, or Renard gonna get in foul trouble because all you gotta do is go up his chest. And if they run in pick and rolls between Danny Wolf and Mikel Brown Jr., you got Jaeger agreeing to starting to look for some 2-pointers by cutting to the basket because Mikel Brown Jr. is his teammate. He know that Mikel Brown Jr. is looking for him to cut to the basket. A lot of times, in my opinion, because of the reputation that Jaeger Domingue got, he could catch a lot of defenders sleeping. Do you think he's going to take the 3 and he could just go back? He could just hug the baseline and get to the basket. You know what I'm saying? If he at the corner 3, he could do a lot of different things at 6'8". You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what Danny does, man. If he shows improvement on defense this summer league, then I'm actually even more excited to see him as a 5. Like, it's not going to be like a long-term thing, but as far as what we need offensively, Danny definitely has it within him, but he has to show improvements. He's not a shot blocker. Really, can you be a good rebounder, offensive glass, defensive glass? If I see those improvements, okay, Danny's showing me something defensive. Like, we have no worries about the offensive stuff he can do, but defensively, the East has gotten crazy big. Wizards now have a DeAndre Ayton, Anthony Davis situation in Washington. Like for the Nets, like they're gonna have to fight every night, no matter the opponent, for rebounds, which has always been a huge weakness. So yeah, it's not a great situation, but to what Ashton you were saying, it's gonna have to be a committee approach. They're all gonna have to attack multiple times, and that's gonna take a lot of energy out of them. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Take a lot of energy out of them. They
You
pros.
think it's Breeze? You think the Breeze? Half of them are rookies, bro. Breeze, respect me.
But what I'm saying is, some of these, if not, Diego not a rookie, and I'm saying that to say, yeah, the attrition going to matter, but these are some league games. I don't even think the quarters are 12 minutes. You know,
I was talking about the real games. I wasn't about summer league Breeze. I was talking about when the NBA season starts.
Yeah, that's but I'm not even talking about the season. I'm talking about the very next game, because what I'm saying is, we have the opportunity to see Joshua Jefferson, the 5 we drafted last season, Mikel Brown Jr. play together tomorrow. This is probably the only time they're gonna really play together. Maybe in the preseason they're gonna get some work.
Also, y'all favorite player, Ben Saraf, is definitely playing tomorrow.
No, that's not my favorite player. That's a fact.
That's not my favorite player. It's Jordan's favorite player.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Leaf just joined the panel. Shout out to Leaf. You know what I'm saying? A member of the page. You know what I mean? I was just saying that it's a member, it's a privilege, because really is y'all helping me more than I'm helping y'all. But at the end of the day, again, I do want to make it a privilege that, you know, the ones that's members of the panel, you know what I'm saying, get to talk their shit. So as soon as Leaf join the panel, I want them, you know what I mean? Shout your page out too, man. And John, throw your handle in the your Twitter handle in the chat. Ashton, you got a podcast or anything like that?
Oh nah, I ain't got no podcast.
All right, yeah. I just, any content creators that join the panel, I would appreciate it. Y'all could do also, you know what I mean? Share your content here. Shout out to Leaf, man. Talk to us, Leaf. We talking about tomorrow's game, man. What you think about it?
I mean, it's just like basically a prelude to what's going to be like the rest of the careers of everybody in this draft. I mean, I'm just hoping that nobody on our side of the fence start crashing the fuck out about, see, that's why we should have picked Acuff. You see? Yeah. Ah! And
I'm not doing it. I'm not. Listen, I'm going to battle with this team, bro. We competing this year. Win, lose, or draw, I'm battling with this team, starting from this summer league game. I ain't doing none of that. That's a fact. Go ahead, though, Lee.
Well, whether we competing or not remains to be seen, bro. Like I'm everything is gonna show itself, bro, by the beginning of the season, by training camp. At least by midway by training camp or by the beginning of the season. The summer league, bro, like just shows me like if the draft picks of this draft, Jefferson and the other kid that got picked in the second round, it shows what they can do on the NBA level. That's all, man. I mean, I ain't blowing smoke about this game, man. It's just a summer league game.
Shit, me, I am. I think Devon NYC know what I'm talking about. He said winning this summer league would be a good confidence boost. Again, the NBA wouldn't make this matchup. This is an intentional thing that they did. The 6th and 7th pick, they want to see what's going to happen. There's going to be conversation. This is an East Coast team and a West Coast team. So we only going to play them twice a year. We get to see them tomorrow in the summer league game. I'm on it. And on top of that, I think more than anything, Mikel Brown Jr. is ready for the competition. He ain't got the same pressure because, you know, he with Diego. He chilling. You know what I'm saying? He in a good space. He know this is home. Listen to the way that he talk. I haven't heard nothing from Darius Acuff Jr. Maybe that's just because I ain't trying to follow his content. But I think that, you know, Mikel Brown Jr. been very vocal, look very confident, know how to articulate himself in front of the media, not uncomfortable. And that's one of the things that I think I want to acknowledge right now. Is that's one of the things that I felt like would always hinder a player is the is the media, and I think he has a good rapport with the media right now. And if he can continue that, I think he's going to be really, it's going to grow in his confidence. Mikel Brown Jr. is he might a fringe star. I was shy to say it, but he might be a fringe star. We gonna see though, and I only mention that this because as far as prototype is concerned, a lot of fans said, "Oh, we don't want a small guard. You're not getting that in the Mikel Brown Jr." You say, "Oh, we need somebody that's a defender next to Diego." You're getting that in the Mikel Brown Jr. A lot of the stuff that we said that we wanted as fans last season, we got in the Mikel Brown Jr. and we just didn't know to put a name on it. Now we can. I just think we in a good situation. And going into this game, I'm confident. I'm not looking at it like I'm nervous. And I seen Ox too on that player's choice when he said he was on the show. He was like, "Yeah, they ain't on shit. What you mean we ain't on shit? I'm on everything." What are you talking about? The Brooklyn Nets fans is ready for this game, anticipating it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm recapping this game. Big Ox, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Leaf, he was talking a little spicy on player's choice. You know what I'm saying? I'll be peeping shit. You feel what I mean? But Leaf, yeah, talk to us, man. What you think about just the leak of Danny Wolf? Let's start there. You know what I mean? I know that's your favorite player. Because he played tomorrow too. You know that. Oh, I was trying to talk to see, I gotta tap in all the time, man.
Well, just to know, we're playing 3 back-to-back-to-back California games, so these guys are not likely playing back-to-back-to-back. So we'll definitely be interested to see how the summer league coach figures out the rotation.
No, it's all in Vegas.
No, there's 3 in California. That's what's starting tomorrow, and then we're going to Vegas. And that's
You're playing.
2 of them.
Yeah, you're playing the California teams, but everybody's in Vegas right now for it.
Right. But look, it say venue Sacramento, so whatever. I don't care, bro. I just want to watch the game, bro. It could be whatever they want to play. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to. It's semantics for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but hold on. Yeah, my bad. It says NBA NBA Summer League California Classic. That's what I'm reading right now. So
if you guys have,
I got it right there on the screen. Yeah.
If you guys have NBA TV, which is channel 308 on your cable box, you can watch it 5:00 tomorrow. I think it's also on Amazon Prime if you have that too. So there are ways to watch tomorrow's game if you can.
Streamies.
Yeah. And again, man, what y'all should pay attention to as us as a team. This is one of the probably the only times you're gonna see these rookies play together. But I think if they successful playing together with these rookies and sophomores, then Jordy Fernandez gonna let them be in a rotation together. You know what I'm saying? Because realistically, who we gonna see together? I think there's be sometime out of the 82 game season we see Joshua Jefferson, Mikel Brown Jr. and Diego Domin on the floor at the same time. I'm interested to say who takes the second year leap. And I want it to be Diego. He's our 8th pick. Danny Wolf, yes. If he's going to be in the starting lineup, yes. I want to see a leap from Drake Powell. Yes. Get Terrence Mann out of here. Let us not have a use for Terrence Mann because of Drake Powell. You know what I'm saying? We need help in that. Whoever coming off the bench for Diego, if it could be Drake Powell over Terrence Mann, that's a great start. We could start right there, you know what I'm saying? But we need Drake Powell to play better than Terrence Mann. Did Drake Powell play better than Terrence Mann last season? See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. See how I get quiet? Drake Powell didn't play better than Terrence Mann, but we need him to be better than Terrence Mann so we could trade Terrence Mann.
Well, I will say he had more memorable moments. I remember Drake Powell scoring over both Queen and Zion. Like Terrence Mann, his moments were forgettable. The dude, I hope if we have to salary dump him with 2 seconds, chat, just do it. The guy serves no purpose. People tell me, John, you need vets on this team. I don't need a vet making $15 million that's only 28 years old. They say he's a vet. The dude's not that type of vet we're looking for. We're looking for a vet that's going to help push these kids forward, take their minutes when they come, but they're not going to override the kids' development. That's what Terrence Mann is. He's the anti-establishment of development. And we just got to get this dude off the team. But Sean Marks rather go into the season with the guy because we don't want to give up these second-round picks. You know that Jeff Peterson now has 22nd-round picks in Charlotte after taking Dodo this week? Oh, yeah. How about Dorian Finney-Smith? Shout out to Little Brother Nets. How you feeling, Doe? After you talking salty to us, you just get bounced around like a ping pong ball. How's that feel, Doe? Like, come on, man. Like we have to get rid of Terrence Mann by any means necessary at this point. Attach some seconds and move forward.
Yeah, now I'm with you. Bro. So again, just going back to John and what do you think about Yego's leap for next year? What would it like just let's go with the dunking. Because let's start there because of the tweet. Like I told you, I'm gonna be talking about this all night. We not big media until we big media. I promise you that. Talk to me about the dunking. You think that Vince Carter called him, or you think that Mikel Brown Jr. as a teammate got him that confident? I ain't never seen Diego dunk on two people. So like, what's happening? Because I'm feeling it, but I don't really understand it fully. But I'm ready for basketball. I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Listen, Yegor is just coming into his own right now. Like he's got confidence. He's established now with this team. I think he's starting to get his own swagger, his own identity. Now take it to another level. Yegor Dunkman, like if he really can dunk the ball more this year, it just adds more to his versatility. We know he's a scorer, but can you dribble? Can you get in the paint, shoot middies? Can you dunk and surprise somebody? Can you play solid, a guard on guard defense? Like I think Yegor has all the intangibles necessary because he spent pretty much every day in the gym pretty much since the season ended. He's definitely was unhappy with how his rookie season went. Now he wants to prove to everybody that, yes, I was worthy of being the first ever Brooklyn Nets lottery pick. And I think we're going to see some good stuff from him this year. He's got height now. He's got extra muscle. And these summer league games for him is just preparation because year is the most important for him, not just for Michael, but for Yegor. He's your first ever lottery pick. He has to take arguably a bigger leap than Michael, arguably than anybody on this team right now. People aren't talking about that. They're all talking about Michael and everything great he's saying, but Yegor was here from day one last year. This is the guy that you got to see pay off. The gamble has to pay off in a lot of ways. And I think for Yegor, if he does, having a guy that's 6'8", 6'9", that's physically stronger, offensively takes it to the glass like that, you have potentially a top 3 star on your team. So this is a huge season for Yegor. But if you ask me, I just think he's coming to his own right now, his own identity. He knows who he is, and we're going to see it. We're going to see Yegor Dunkman fly this season.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, and I'm glad he was very optimistic when he got sat by the Nets, and he was like, I look at it like an early off season. That's kind of like the first thing I heard him say when he was, I think he was talking to the announcers like in halftime or some shit. And long story short, I think he took full advantage of getting bigger in the gym, working out, making sure that he, prioritized his health and being a professional basketball player and the things that you have to do before you actually get on the play basketball, just the preparation of it all. I think he took that seriously, and I think that's what's going to get him to the next level. I think Diego became a hard worker and has got a good rapport with the coaches. You got K Mel Francis of 49.99 in the chat said Brooklyn got a good coaching staff. Day'Ron Sharpe gonna be a problem if healthy. Day'Ron Sharpe fighting for a starting spot, fighting for minutes, but Day'Ron Sharpe got that contract. Day'Ron Sharpe keep a job. People say, oh, this and that about the contracts. Day'Ron Sharpe got two-year contracts. That's 4 years. Look, Day'Ron Sharpe been in the league 5-6 years. He went with the Brooklyn Nets for how long? 6 years? Bro, keep a job, bro. I'm telling you, Day'Ron Sharpe, the coaches see the year to year how he got better. The coaches, they see it. They see him not just getting offensive rebounds and kicking it back out. They see him being better around the rim. They also know that he got to catch the ball a little better. And, he don't play above the rim with the pick and roll. But I do think they do find strengths in the Day'Ron Sharpe that make him a better player. The coaching on that team, I would say, is good. I like the fact that he got some new guys, but he kept some of the guys that was already on the staff. Yeah, the coaching staff is fire, man. Shout out to Mel Francis. First time I seen you in there in the chat. Shout out to you. Shout out to Big Homie Stay Solid. Yeah, man. Leaf, you there? I know Leaf was on 2 panels. He was doing some Liberty channel or something. Shout out to him. But yeah, man, I know I'm gonna start the show with Nets fan talk. Y'all want to talk about anything that happened in the NBA? The 8 into the Wizards. What the Wizards trying to do, bro?
They needed
trying
a
to do
backup big. They needed a backup big. They trying to compete this year. They done with their rebuild.
yeah. So they who they got starting at center? Ant to start
No.
center.
So
Who's the-
80 is going to be playing the 4. Alex Sarr going to be playing the 5. I think their starting lineup is going to be like Trey Young, Keontae George, Keyshawn George, Ace Bailey, not Ace Bailey, AJ DeBonsa. My fault. Then you got AD and then Alex Sarr. Still got people like Will Riley, Trey
But hold
Johnson.
on. Matter of fact, the question I really want to ask is, why is Jalen Duren not on the team yet? Well, I thought he was such a high commodity, but such a player that teams wanted. Like, what happened? Like,
he wants $40 million, and Detroit wants to give him closer to under 30. Like, there's a gap there. And honestly, given how bad free agency was this summer, it was all about the center. It was about Walker Kessler. Literally got a trade to the team he wanted to go to, and they had to give up their whole future for him. Now Durant's telling Detroit, you guys want me? Pay up. I mean, there's no other better star you can get at center than me right now. Right now, Durant has all the power, and Detroit is really showing just how bad they are as a market, because this should have been done already. You gave up Isaiah Stewart for nothing, who was like his big brother, and now you expect him to take a pay cut to be on your team. Like, Detroit screwed this up really badly, no matter how you look at it right now, even if they get him back.
But I don't think they screwed it up. I think at the end of the day, they kind of wanted to be him a playoff roster, and they kind of, I think, putting a lot of onus on the fact that he wasn't a shot creator, because when they needed a bucket, they couldn't go to him, and everybody know in the playoff series, you playing the same team over and over and over. They know your pick and roll. They know how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, all of that. And then Kate Cunningham, how he 100%? Then he just come back from a lung injury. Like, how is he even playing 7-game series like that? They can't dunk the ball off to Jalen Duren, and he got a sky hook like Kareem, Akeem the Dream Shake, a dominance like Shaq, hitting the glass, kissing the glass with the basketball like Tim Duncan. He ain't that. And you want to get paid like you the leader of this team. All of those big men led their team. You can argue Kobe and Shaq, but you get my drift. He not that. Detroit not a try. They want Durant to stay, but they like, bro, you trying to break the piggy bank.
Hang on, but Breezy, I have to say this though. If you look at Duren when he first got in Detroit, he couldn't do a thing pretty much. He was a deer in headlights in every game. If you look at him, he came in the league, couldn't defend nobody. He didn't have no mid-range game. He couldn't finish around the rim at all. Only thing he could do was just dunk the basketball. And he's not a real deal rim protector. From day one to now, the man has taken leaps and bounds to be where he's at now. Now, sure, did he have a bad playoff series? Absolutely. But he's still 22, who was averaging a 20 and 10. Like, you got to pay the man. And he feels disrespected. Because you, regardless of how you think, if you had a bad,
but hold on, but do you see the disparity? Like, both of them are steadfast on that number, and I think that's the problem. If he's steadfast on 40 and they won't budge from under 30, this is clear discrepancy there.
Well,
like, you won't meet me halfway in the middle. Like, you're not going over 30 a little.
So the thing is, so the problem with this whole situation is it's not only with Detroit. Detroit don't want to give him the money. Other teams want to give him the money. It's the problem of, well, after I give him the money, I got to give up all these assets to go give to Detroit now. So that's the real problem with the other teams. The other teams have cap space and they want to get them. But you have to understand, for what Walker Kessler just went for, you're going to have to give up 3 unprotected and maybe 3 pick swaps.
Right.
So basically what it sounds like to me is franchises want him, to Ashton's point, because I'm just kind of reiterating what he said. Shout out to Ashton for joining the panel. The free agent market isn't as interesting as he would think or like, because not that franchises don't want him, but they want the assets that come with him if they're going to pay him that much. Because if you paying somebody that much, these teams, with all of the parity and all these different teams winning the NBA champion, you're not really trying to add Durant and say we rebuilding our team. You trying to win with him. You feel what I'm saying? And I think the teams that's trying to win, they can't afford his contract. Like how I'm supposed to.
Let me just say some of the teams. So the three teams we heard were Sacramento, LA,
right,
and what is it? The Celtics. Look at what the Celtics just traded Jaylen Brown for what?
But you see they signed their center though, right?
Yeah, they did, but they didn't have to give up assets to go get Mitch.
Right.
Mitch was just a free. Mitch was a regular.
No. I'm not talking about Mitch. I'm talking about the one they had on the team already.
Yeah, because they couldn't go get Jaylen Brown. No, they couldn't go get Jalen Duren because of what they would have to give up, because they just were trying to get assets for the future off of Brown. Now, if you go look at what Sacramento is not a winning team right now. They are a young team that, sure, could they use Jalen Duren? Yes, but they can't afford to give up all those future assets. Right. And then if you look at the Lakers didn't have nowhere near the future assets, because look what they gave up for Walker Kessler.
Ashton, you're making a lot of good sense to this argument, and I will say this too. Like, he is 22 years old. The free agent market was bad this year. He still is a top center in this league, a starter. Like, regular season, the dude dominated. He's only 22 and he looks like freaking Goliath. When he's going against Claxton, it's like, how is Claxton like 5 years older than him, but looks nothing like a guy who's in the best shape of his career, 6 years from his prime? And the Kings are still a team that might get Durant in the end of all this, even if they somehow don't agree to a solution, because the Kings do have Sabonis, who we've heard is on the trade market. And obviously Sabonis is a downgrade from Durant, but at this point, if Detroit's willing and Durant is willing, you might have to do something crazy like that.
But John, what I'm saying, that's an opinion as far as chemistry is concerned. Because Sabonis, you could dump the ball into Sabonis, he's going to get you a bucket. Like, he's going to score. And you're not going to miss out on rebounding, because they rebound around the same. What I will say is that Durant might be more healthier than the Sabonis. I give you that.
Yeah, I agree. This also goes back to Detroit making a bad error last year. Like, they were in rumors to get some type of upgrade player. They decided to stay forward, not do anything. You lost Tobias Harris for nothing. Like, if you were going to trade for any type of like upgrade piece next to Cade, then I think Detroit might have eventually been willing to do the Sabonis for Durant move, because I have a co-star now next to Cade. It would be great to have Durant, but at 30, 40 mil, no, I'll just get a cheap center on the market. Detroit's problem was their timing sucked right now. They should have got a co-star this past February, and then this situation might have been easier for them to move off of, but they don't have a co-star with Cade, and now Durant holds all the leverage. That's what people are not talking about.
But we addressed that. Because again, I was the one, fans from Detroit fans, I think, bought on a lot of Detroit. He was in the chat and he was like, yo, we should have asked for MPJ at the trade deadline because he's scoring. And at the end of the day, respectfully, to Jalen Duren, the scoring was supposed to come from Tobias Harris low key. Right. But you got to realize the reputation that Tobias Harris had when he came from the Clippers didn't carry over with the 76ers or the Detroit Pistons. Like, yeah, you got some good basketball from the playoffs and from Tobias Harris, but his best basketball was with the Clippers. And anytime he had the opportunity to help out a Maxey and Edgecombe and, don't worry if MB not here type shit, nah. He wasn't holding it down, you know what I mean? Now, I'm saying that to say that, that's how they want to play the game. They assemble their roster the way they do it. I get it. The whole stretch 4 thing, but they knew Jalen Duren wasn't no interior scorer without a pick and roll anyway. They knew he was getting putbacks and putback dunks and staying in the dunking spot, offensive rebound and then dunking it. Like Jalen, he was Jalen not Duren, he became a like he became all right. Yeah, like can you give him the ball and him Sabonis? You could give him the ball. He got footwork. He gonna score.
So with Jalen Duren from what I've seen him, because I've seen him from his rookie year till now, I've seen leap and bounds. Like, you couldn't trust him to pretty much score the basketball. He's got a way better touch around the rim. He added a mid-range shot to his game. That's what helped him improve with his free throw attempts. So like he's gotten better. It's just the thing is he's still 22 years old. So like real talk, like even with regular centers, you don't start seeing like jumps until year 3, and that's when you show who you are. This man is still hitting jumps in year 4, year 5. Like what I'm saying, he's still somebody that you could confidently say that if you don't think he's worth $40 million, I understand, but we're just talking about him today. You don't know what he could be in 3 years from now if he's still going on the trajectory that he is, because he could realistically be one of the better centers in the league because he's getting better and better every year, and his form looks amazing.
No, I'm with you. And then like, don't leave him on an island by himself. Get another defender in your power forward. You put Duran next to a really good defender. In the
that's who they signed. They signed. Man, what's that? What was the backup center's name? For the Clippers. He used to play for the Hawks. John
Collins?
Yeah, John Collins. They just signed him.
Okay.
So
speaking of look at Utah too. Free agent forward Josh Okogie has agreed to a 2-year, $12 million deal with the Utah Jazz. Yada yada. And he's a wing defender that shoots 38% from the field, 38.5%. Now I'm saying this to say they trying to contend, bro. They're not playing no games in Utah. You know what I'm saying? And again, I want y'all to pay attention to them because they got 0 championships too. All of the teams that got 0 championships or that didn't win in a long time, like the Knicks, the NBA is you know what I mean? Seeing that they're a good team. You know, they giving them the talent. Now, whether or not you win, that's on you. But the NBA be giving the talent to those teams. They about to have expansion teams. How they supposed to have about in the 2028, 2029, two more expansion teams coming? They're gonna try to put focus on them on winning when they get here. But before they get here, the teams that don't have an NBA championship, they want to see if they can win. Utah Jazz. Wizards ain't winning in a long time. Wizards.
I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting you bring up Utah because that Ace Bailey stuff. I know Breeze. We try to get the idea out there. People weren't buying it, but just look back at Walker Kessler. He was there for 4 years. They didn't want to pay him. They didn't want to be there. Same with Ace Bailey. They're making this guy a bench guy when they now have Darren Peterson. They now have other veteran players to win now. Ace is not going to be happy being a bench guy for the rest of his career, even if they want to pay him. He's leaving. He's leaving Utah potentially one day, and that's the guy we should go after. If we have to pay a small penny to Danny Ainge, he ain't taking my heart. He may take half my brain, but to give up half my heart to get Ace Bailey on this team, we might have to do that. Danny Ainge just showed us he's willing to move pieces for a price. We have all these assets. That should be the time to strike if we don't get any upgrade before then.
Hey, John, they starting Ace Bailey now. They don't got.
I don't know, man. I seen Peterson and Ace Bailey smiling together playing basketball. I don't know if we can get
They starting Ace Bailey. Hang on. They starting Ace Bailey now. They moving J to the 5. I'm letting you know they moving Triple J to the 5.
Is that official or just an idea you're saying?
No. I'm just letting you know.
It sounds like it makes sense though. Go ahead. Triple J to the 5. Who at the 4?
Yeah, because you got Laurie Marketing. That's
Laurie Marketing. Ace Bailey at the 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Peterson at the 2. Keon. Damn, they tough.
And I'm letting you know it does work because Triple J was the 5 in Memphis when they were winning games. The problem was rebounding. But when you have somebody like Laurie Marketing who can grab boards, Ace Bailey who will attack the glass, so it does even out. The only problem with Triple J at the 5 was the rebounding, but he's somebody that can space the floor, which will bring bigs out. So you just have to have people that are willing to attack the glass, which I think they do have the pieces for. So that's why I said that's why they let Walker Kessler walk, and they got all those assets for it.
No, they have a lot of movability. I'm just saying the Ace situation is interesting because he never wanted to be there. I have a feeling like if he does well these next few years and he feels like they don't value him like they didn't value Walker Kessler, there's something there for the Nets to look at. Like our main open positions are at the 3 and the 4. Yes, MPJ and Randall are there currently, but they're not exactly guys that are part of this long term. They're here now, and Ace Bailey's somebody that has his whole career ahead of him, and that's the guy we wanted originally. You tell me I could have one day Mikel, Jaeger, and Ace on my team? That's how the Nets can somehow get through this and have a young core intact that's ready to win. I'm just putting it out there. I just don't think Randall and MPJ will be a long part of this. They're going to help you now, but the Nets should have their eyes on young potential stars that are unhappy in certain situations And the Nets have all these assets, and they got to use them eventually. Like, you can't just let Edwards, Jaylen Browns, and Jokers go wherever the hell they want. You're still standing here like, we have a fun young squad, but we're not moving the needle anywhere. The Nets have to always be ready to make a move like that.
And you should. But also, one thing I want to say, Breezy, you were talking about the expansion. Well, when those teams come in, we're gonna have an expansion draft. So do you know what that is? Yeah. So yeah, that's whenever you got all these. No. The expansion draft is when those teams that come in, your team is only allowed to, I think, is lock in 10 to 12 players. Say that, hey, these guys are untouchable. Everybody else on your team can be drafted. So like teams like OKC, see how they like really, really solid. Like their entire unit is solid. You got teams like the Spurs that are solid. Those teams, even though they're doing really well now, a lot of those players are going to get grabbed. So like, think about it. My fault. It's only 7. You only get to franchise lock 7 players.
So hold on. I'm gonna pull it up. What you said there? What's the expansion draft? Hold on. This is just for me to know, for the chat to know. Shout out to Ashton for bringing up this new content. We about to get into it. But I said that, Ashton, to make a point that the teams that have 0 championships, the NBA is trying to get them to compete before they focus on the expansion team coming in the league and competing. But what were you saying? The expansion draft? What did you say?
Yeah. So the expansion draft, I think you only get to lock in 7 players. So since we're talking about Utah, let's talk about Utah for a second. So with Utah, they're only able to lock in 7 players. Let's say they lock in their starting 5, and let's say they get 2 more players off their bench. Everybody else is eligible for this expansion draft, which means the 2 new teams coming in, they get to select anybody. So we're going to throw in a team like now OKC. Let's say they lock up their starting 5. They lock up Jerry McCain and Adea Mar. Well, that means like somebody like Thomas Solberg. That means people like Nikola Topic. What's the Alex Caruso? Like all those guys are eligible for that.
We're gonna get Ashton to recap after I read this content. This is pretty much what he was talking about. I pulled it up to just kind of be so bit of visual for the chat so y'all can see what we're talking about. The NBA expansion draft is a process that allows new franchises to select players from existing teams. With the next draft scheduled for summer 2028, as the league adds teams in Seattle and Las Vegas. So that's basically what he was saying in other words. They're going to be able to pick players from your team, and we're going to get more into what's going on with it just for the specifics. Overview and the expansion draft. NBA expansion draft occurs when the league adds new teams, allowing them to build a roster by selecting players from existing franchises. Each existing team can protect up to 8 players, while the remaining unprotected players from the draft pool. Expansion teams can select 1 player per existing team, and teams cannot lose more than 1 player in the draft. Players on expiring contracts or 2-way contracts are generally ineligible. Through restricted free agents can be drafted if unprotected. So I hope y'all get a gist of what we talking about. You, Ashton, just kind of break it down for them, bro.
Yeah, like I said, your franchise gets to protect 8 players. Whenever it comes up, you're only allowed to lose 1 player in the entire draft pick, and then you will get compensated if it's a protected pick. Yeah, hang on. I was just naming out players from the Thunder that could have been drafted. So I was just naming out people like that. But like I said, we could throw out even your team. Let's just say they want to protect the 5 rookies they drafted. Mikel Brown Jr.
And they said 8 players, so it's gonna be the 5 that we drafted. Mikel Brown Jr.
Let's just say.
I just want to help you out because I'm gonna let you know which ones we gotta protect. We gotta protect.
Yeah, you're right.
Hold on. We gotta protect Danny Wolf. We gotta protect Diego Domen. We gotta protect Mikel Brown Jr. and Nolan Traore. That's 4. We gotta protect Josh Minot. Gotta protect Day'Ron Sharp. 2 more.
No, you had 6 right now. You had 6.
Joshua Jefferson. I don't know about Noah Clowney.
Well, Noah Clowney's not on the team right now.
Oh, and Julius Randle. And
all right, Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
you
but-
already at 8. You already at 8. You already at 8.
Hold on. Say, I gotta cut somebody for Michael Porter
No,
Jr.
Noah Clowney is still on the team. He got 1 year left.
Oh, he is? Okay, then my bad.
Yeah, but I would, he wouldn't be one of the 8 players I would pick. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know who I'm
I would
protecting.
Michael Porter Jr., Randall.
I
But
think but the thing about this, I don't know how official this is, but the thing about this upcoming expansion, this shit is official.
Yeah.
Bro, I mean, they're articulating the expansion. The way I typed it in, yeah, they just basically saying how it's going to play out when the 2 teams get start in 2028-2029 season. They explaining how it's going to happen, how they're going to pick the players on their roster, you know, and they just saying they're going to be able to pick 1 player off of every team,
right?
And you know, 8 players on the current teams in the NBA are protected, and every franchise get to pick what 8 players that those are.
Man, I'm calling niggas up from the G League, bro. I'm putting them on the main roster, bro, so they can have they pick at them, and then I'm protecting my other 8, and then I'm throwing the other niggas on free agency, bro. It's a remedy for everything, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like the Chicago Bulls was able to do it throughout the entire 90s. When when all them expansion teams came, bro. Mind you, Jordan went 6-0, and six expansion teams came during the Jordan era. Make it make sense.
Yeah, but again, to my original point was that the teams that don't have no championships, like the Utah Jazz, they trying to see if they're going to be able to compete before these teams come into the because that's going to be the NBA focus. By that time, LeBron should have been retired. I think LeBron is trying to stay until 2028, 2029. He should just take a year off, man. Take it easy. You know, take it easy, you know. And that's another conversation we could get into where LeBron is going to go. I said I want him to go to Minnesota or Philly. You know what I mean? I want him to go to Minnesota or Philly. I'd rather him to go to Minnesota to get out of our way. You in the Atlantic Division? Hell no. So go to Minnesota.
I got the perfect place for LeBron to go.
Where?
To the fucking couch.
Yeah, he can retire.
To his couch, nigga, at his house. At home.
What up, Ruler FN?
Put the seats up, but I don't really care about LeBron. And since we're speaking on free agency, can somebody
hold on. I wanted to no, go ahead, go. What you was gonna say about free agency? I wanted to know.
Since we're speaking on free agency, can somebody tell me, without bringing up numbers, without bringing up stats, without bringing up minutes, just purely on skill set, can somebody tell me the distinct difference between Day'Ron Sharpe and Jalen Duren?
Strength,
Right.
defense.
Right.
Really?
Pick and roll. He play above the rim.
Yes.
All I see is a nigga that play 10 more minutes than the other.
Stop, leave. There's a stark difference, man. Come on, one guy can set a screen. The others hadn't set a screen in 6 years. Come on, leave.
All I see is one person that play 10 more minutes than the other. That's it.
I think Jalen Duren's mid-range.
For 35, but he costs $35 million a year though.
He's a starter. One is a backup. Like, this is just logic. I know some of our Nets fans really want magic to happen, but sometimes you can't pull a rabbit out of a hat with Day'Ron. You just can't. He is what he is. What's wrong with that?
This is why the starting center on this team is Danny effing Wolf. And I keep going back to it, bro. Danny Wolf played more minutes in 1 year than Day'Ron Sharpe played in his 5-6 years on the Nets. Danny Wolf, bro, like, listen, I understand everybody is looking for goddamn Lob City DeAndre at the 5, but that shit don't exist in today's league anymore. And if it did, it's getting played off the court. This is the reason why goddamn Jalen Duren only plays 28 minutes.
That's not a good thing. Them trying to only look for bigs as stretch bigs and them having Brook Lopez take 3-pointers. Like, I get him as far as personnel specifically, but every big man 7-footer, you 7 feet and you don't want to dunk. There's nothing wrong with me. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but those type of bigs getting played off the court. Like,
exactly.
You gotta understand. Like,
come on, bro.
Pick and roll is
the pick and roll is used the most utilized.
I'm not talking about offensively
in the NBA.
I'm not talking about offensively. I'm not talking about, because if you got, like, I'm gonna throw out just a random big. I ain't gotta throw out Wemby, bro. If you have a stretch big where the other big only wants to do is protect the rim, you got somebody wide open at the corner. Let's just throw out Khalil Ware. Khalil Ware can shoot threes, bro. You can't guard him at the rim. And even if you step up, Khalil Ware is faster than somebody like DeAndre Jordan. I'm not saying even younger DeAndre Jordan. Khalil Ware is faster. Khalil can get to the basket easier. That's what I'm saying. Those guys are getting played off the court. That's why you need a guy that has ability.
I think it's a lane wide open. I think maybe that's why Jalen Duren has contract negotiations and why you pretty much him not being a stretch big. Because you can say a lot of positive about Jalen Duren, but Jalen Duren is not a stretch big. He's not hitting the 17, 18 footer, and he's not knocking down no three.
So look here. The thing is with a stretch big is some people only consider it threes. Jalen Duren has a nice mid-range game. Is it the first? Is it like Kevin? Yeah. Is it like a Kevin Garnett mini?
Was that mid-range game in the playoffs?
Man,
I ain't never seen Jalen Duren with no mid-range game.
I've seen Jalen Duren maybe hit one free throw, one shot, maybe a shot a game from away from the basket or outside of the paint.
I've seen him drive to the rim. I've seen him drive to the rim once or twice, but I've never seen him make mid-range shots. So asking me,
listen, this is a folklore. This is a tall town.
No, I'm not. Hang on, it ain't no tall tale.
Tari got 5 years, $81 million, bro. This shit is crazy.
Tari did get that. Golly,
that's a fable to my table, man. They ain't got no midi.
Man, Angle, you talking about a midi like that? I'm talking about he could hit a couple mid-range shots. I'm not talking about.
But Danny Wolf is a spaced out player.
Yes, he is.
Here's the thing. I trust Danny Wolf to play. Can Danny Wolf? You've seen Danny Wolf move his feet on defense.
Yes,
you've seen Danny Wolf move his feet on offense. You've seen Danny Wolf give effort on defense. You've seen Danny Wolf get better at rebounding. You've seen Danny Wolf dribble, pass, and shoot. You've seen Danny Wolf run the offense. What is the goddamn problem? You've seen Danny Wolf put on 10 pounds of muscle. He's 6'10" and 260. What is the damn problem?
What's the problem?
I don't know. It's just the way.
Somebody gonna give me some bullshit answer. I already know it. What the fuck?
Leaf. Me and Breezy talked about it. We're going to give him the opportunity. It's just this summer league, he's got to show those improvements. Like, this is going to be a tall task for our centers this year because Sean Marks put us in a bad situation. But if Danny Wolf could show us offensively, he's solid, and defensively, there's some improvements in certain areas, then he could be the starter. I have no problem with that. But again, he's not a perfect player like you're making him out to be. He has to work on certain things if he wants to hold down that starting gig. That's all we've ever said to you. That's it.
Bro, I'll be honest with you. At the pick that he was drafted at, you're not going to find a better player with a more filled out skill set than Danny Wolf at that pick. You won't.
You're probably right, yeah.
We'll see, man. Listen, if we're trying to build some offensive identity, make Wolf the starting five. But I'm telling you, this Leaf, that's not my long-term answer at the starting five. We need a legit 7-footer one day if we want to be a serious team. Look at the East, how bigger it's getting. Look at the West, how crazy it is. If our center is a guy who's a great point guard big, but really he's not going to be able to hold down, the Wembys of the world, like, you're stuck. No matter how good you are offensively. That's all I'm saying.
Then why did he gain 10 pounds of muscle?
Okay, he gained 10 pounds. I got to see how that translates, Leaf, right?
Just put him on the court.
Added 15 to 16 pounds the past year. And people are going, I have expectations for that right now, right? We got to see how it all plays out. These guys got to show their cornerstone guys.
I think we, at this point, bro, like, I don't think we got shit to lose, bro. Like, we already... Our roster looks like it's already set to go into training camp. Just put him on the court, bro. What else do you have to lose?
Look. K-Mel Francis, $49.99 said Danny Wolf can pass. He can develop a shot. He definitely need work on defense, but they just need a system. Like, there's more optimism about Danny Wolf being the center because of who we got. I mean, we got Mo Wagner. When I see Mo Wagner, I wasn't like, oh, he taking Danny Wolf's spot. I'm like, hell no. You third string. You giving Danny the liberty to be risky on defense, contest shots, and if he get in foul trouble, it's cool because we got 3 centers. I think giving him the green light on being aggressive on defense is a good thing.
I think a lot of people don't know yet, but I think Mo Wagner is there to take Noah Clowney's spot because he could play the 4 as well.
I wouldn't put a guy coming off a tornado sale at the 4. I would just keep him at the 5. But maybe that's what they want to do. But At the end of the day, if Dayron is going to start, Danny's the floor off the bench. But if Danny starts, can you really play Mo and Dayron together? That's a pretty weird front court off the bench. Man. I don't know about that.
For less than 20 minutes, bro, as bench guys, hell yeah, you could play them.
Yeah, you can play
it. But I don't think it's going to be great. That's just how I look at it. But maybe they'll surprise us in
the
a few
thing
games.
is, you're not a great team. Like, that's the problem. Like, it's not nothing's supposed to be great right now. This is all y'all are experiencing.
The 2-year tank is over. We're supposed to get better starting now. I understand we're in a shitty situation, but you can't just be okay being mediocre for another 1-2 years and hope a star wants to fall in your lap. Pause. Like, come on.
Hang on. Nobody said.
If you put Danny Wolf in the starting lineup, you don't have to worry about none of that shit. All the progress that you was waiting for, it will happen. All of the growth that you was waiting for will happen.
But talk to him. But be specific. Like, what you project for Danny Wolf? What kind of year that you think that he's gonna have?
The year is not in numbers. It's all about how he helps the start five get to their offense. It's all about it's all about the space that he delivers on offense. It's all about the effort that he delivers on defense. It's all about it's all about any and everybody in our starting five being able to rebound, box out and rebound, and go for defensive rebounds and push the offense. Everybody in this starting lineup is capable of doing that, including Danny Wolf. Live it, learn it, love it.
Bro, like I said, I got confidence in it. I was toggling, but again, I get what Leaf was saying. You know what I mean? And I agree. Like I as a Nets fan, I seen us going to the second quarter down because we couldn't score the ball. Our offense would get stagnant. I think with Diego being a defensive rebounder, like I was saying earlier with my soliloquy, or to y'all, yeah, he's going to push the break with a Danny Wolf. Danny Wolf is a good defensive rebounder. Him and Ye going to be pushing the break. Our offense is going to come from the transition some of the time. We are not drawing up X's and O's. We not that. We not drawing up X's and O's every time we come down the court. We not. We coming down the court and we pushing the pace. Somebody like Mikel Brown Jr., he could get straight to the rim. Diego could stop at the 3. Randall could go to the rim. Danny Wolf could go to the rim. Like, there's things we could do on the break and look for Diego. That's the leap that I think he takes, becoming a defensive rebounding guard and looking for offense in the transition and maybe drawing the foul. You know, you see him working on his moves right there. He doing step back threes, but of course, you know, he working on his handle. You know, they got it in slow motion if you like. You know what I'm saying? You see him, make room with his elbow. I like to see that. You know what I'm saying? Dribble, jumper. You know what I mean? Working on his handle, working on his pass. Pay attention to that, bro. He's not playing no games. He know the season coming up. And at the end of the day, I don't think Sean Marks missed with this pick. I just think that he didn't get the point guard he was looking for, but he definitely got a solid 2 guard. And I'm good with that. This draft is not a fail if this is our future duo. If we get a duo out of these 2 drafts, I look at this as a success. That's just what it is for me. You know what I'm saying? This season going to say a lot. You know what I mean? The ruler FN, he a moderator. He said there's no 1 or 2 players you can get right now that will turn this team into a top 5 team in the East. Let's understand this is temper our expectations. So, I mean, let's go to Ashton first because he's not even a Nets fan. So, what do you expect the Nets to do from looking from the outside in?
So, what I was saying, I thought this was a development year. Like I said, like I don't think there's nothing wrong with having a development year. This is a year that y'all don't own y'all pick. Y'all went in free agency. Y'all went and got some pieces to help see what you could do today. See what the young guys, get them more comfortable in playing, and seeing what your 6th overall pick can bring in the league today when you're trying to win games. So that's why I said when he said, "Well, this ain't a perfect situation," I said it's not going to be because it's not. Y'all aren't ready yet. The young guys are not ready yet. That's how I look at it. And we're going to see how their development is going. That's why I said this is a developmental year. Call it what you is. It's not tanking.
Listen, I will say that too. When I say we're going to compete, it's to develop us as an identity and see what we look like as a competitive team. And that is the development. The development is, okay, we're not focused on a draft pick. For 2 seasons, this said team was focused on a draft pick. So they're going to play like it. The same thing that you're going to do in the fourth quarter when you're a tanking team is not the same thing you're going to do when you're a competitive team. And I think that's what we develop in, how to play together, how to win together. That's the development that I'm trying to see. Not
My,
to say we're going all the way. I don't think we hoist the trophy up this year. But I
my,
do think we take strides in that right direction. We at least going in the right direction. You know what I'm saying?
my response to that quote is, listen, of course we're ways away from being true contenders, but what Sean Marks had the optionality to do this summer was make at least one move, and not like a crazy big move, but a move that's big enough to at least push the needle forward. Because you look at where his free agency essentially is, minus the guys we re-signed, it's essentially Mo Wagner and Keon Ellis. And I've seen some people's podcasts, there's people going, that is really all he could do. Like, you have all this cap space, you have all these picks, you have 26 round picks, and you really couldn't get that one type of guy to push this team forward. I understand people's frustrations with that because essentially we have over several guards on this team. We have a crazy, a center group right now with two backups and one guy who might be a wing, a guard, or big, whatever you want to call it. And it's like, where's the system? Where's the structure being built here? Because on one part's what Ashton's saying, it is developmental, but it's also like on a haywire of unsustainability. It's almost like you're expecting Mikel, Jaeger, and Jordy, because that's essentially your trio, to put this all together and say, hey, the Brooklyn Nets are on the comeback slowly, but eventually somebody's going to want to come here. It's like, you don't have to go like that. You could have got at least one upgrade piece to really start giving this team something to work with. That's just been my only, bit of a complaint with Sean Marks. We heard about Trey Murphy. We heard about Keeson Wallace. Like, having had those guys on this team, they're not perfect players, but they're good players that fit this system. And it's like, you rather keep MPJ on extension when the guy has 3 back surgeries, a special brace on his ankle, want to pay more money, is no telling how healthy he'll be. Like, that's a choice, but is it a choice that's going to progress us forward? You'll have to find out. It's just, I feel like Sean Marks had optionality again this summer, and he's choosing to stand pat, get a few guys on cheap prove-it deals, and see where we are a year from now. That's, and he's just staying stuck in a way. Like, you're asking so much out of your young guys, but again, these young guys need supporting pieces that will progress us forward, and the best guy you got was Keon Ellis. I like him, but you could have got another upgrade piece to really start pushing us forward, because this ain't just about development anymore. It's trying to progress yourself forward at the same time. And I feel this front office just doesn't know how to do that right now. That's what I'm thinking.
But I didn't get that from that. I mean, they needed somebody that could score with their back to the basket. You got that with a Joshua Jefferson. When you think about Randall, he could do that too. But that's 2 players out of the roster that we got. Maybe Jaeger could get better at it, but for the most part, we don't have that kind of offense on our team. So I did see what they did with a Joshua Jefferson. I just didn't know who he was. But again, I don't watch college basketball. When I seen his highlights, more his game is inside the 3-point line, and we need that. A lot of Jordy Fernandez playbook came from behind the 3-point line. We all seen that last season. You feel what I'm saying? So it was refreshing to see a Joshua Jefferson play that way, because that's a play that Jordy Fernandez could call. I don't know if you know what I mean. He got the personnel with players that play with their back to the basket, so he could do more things as a head coach. And I do think they do have a good coaching staff. I do like the fact that I believe it's impressive paying attention to Jaeger, being honest, saying like, yo, he's playing more like a 2 than a 1. What do we do? Do we force him to be a point guard? Because that's what we said we was looking for in the beginning of the season when we drafted him. Or do we naturally let him play his game, which is a shooting guard? And those coaches naturally let him play his game as a 2 guard. And I respect that. And I do think they got a good coaching staff. And I do think that they take leaps this second year. And I'm not going to lie to you, I just don't know if Noah Clowney is in the fold. Other than that, I do feel like we develop in the core. This is where, I'm gonna keep going to that, because we are developing. Like, we're developing the core. We're developing the identity. Those are the 2 things that's happening. You know what I'm saying? I think, again, we're not expected to win, but my expectations is definitely for us to, take a page out of what teams did already, and that was focus on the duo. I seen it with Steve Francis and Catino Mobley. I seen it with Penny and Nick Anderson. The backcourt was the focal point. You know what I'm saying? When franchises building a roster, Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum. You know what I'm saying? There's Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Not to say they're gonna be that good, but I get I get what they're doing. They taking a page out of franchises books that work for them. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we had Kenny Anderson, Drazen, and Petrovic. You know what I mean? That was working for a while, but the demise of Drazen, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, Drazen, Petrovic.
Oscar and Joe Dumars.
You see what I'm saying? Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars.
Oh yeah, my fault. I meant to say Isaiah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But you get where I'm going with this. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it is. I think the Brooklyn Nets are not wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? The best big men in the draft, they got drafted before 6. It is what it is. You know what I mean? You pick the best point guard in that situation. It was a good pick. You know what I mean? The ruler FN, he said, in my opinion, we end up the 10th or 11th seed with a chance to end at or about 35 wins. You agree with that, John?
We got to see where we are with how the first 10, 20 games go. Like, I got to see how the system works, how these young guys, especially our sophomores, elevate their games, and how Mikel adjusts to being a professional NBA player. He's talked with a lot of bravado, but those first 10, 20 games, listen, all the greatest of the greats have had, like, as a rookie, like that little stunt period. I don't want that for him, but everybody's gone through it. But I think Mikel Yegor, that is the big long-term hope and plan that these two guys will develop as a duo. So could that happen? Maybe, but just given how bad the center position system is, it's really going to be a fight basis every night with this team. And that's the one thing I think Jordy always knows how to get out of these guys is complete effort. So we'll see how far we get. If we can get over 20 wins, before the Christmas or trade deadline, like that's kind of, I guess, better than what your worst worries are. So we'll see how it turns out. I believe that these young guys have a lot of potential. I really do. It's just this front office asking so much out of them, and I hope that they can not only exceed expectations but prove they truly belong. It's just I wish they had a little more support around them, but that's just how I feel about it. But I think Mikel and Yegor are going to be a fun duo for sure. That's their future. That's their investment, and I hope the investment truly pays off long term, not just this year, but for years to come. We just got to see how it plays out.
And another thing, the East has gotten significantly better.
Yeah.
Look at some of these teams. Like we're talking. Like last year, everybody was talking about, oh man, the Knicks could just make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and look at them. They did. They made it. They made it. But if you look at it now, you got a team like the Raptors who just got back Kawhi Leonard with that team. You got what is it? The 76ers
fighting for 100 points with the Raptors.
You fighting with 100 points. Then you got teams that were already good with like Atlanta, who just got the number 8 pick and got one of the better big men in the draft in the late second round. Like that's what I'm saying. The East is tough, so it's gotten a lot better.
I mean, you want to talk about tough? Look at Philly. We've talked about them, as a dumpster dive the last few years because it was all around Embiid. Now look at them now with Jaylen Brown. They have Brown, Maxey, VJ, and Embiid. Like that's crazy. And they got D Wade who's a starter. And this is what's crazy to me. Like, why would Boston trade a star in their own division? Like that's what makes the Nets situation so precarious. We did not get significantly better in our own division. The Knicks, the Raptors, the Celtics, they still have some vet players.
All of them teams.
It's tough.
All of them teams.
You just reminded me. I think go ahead though, Leaf. Go ahead, Leaf.
All of them teams, all they did was play My GM 2K. That's all they did, bro. Like they got somebody with a name, put them on their team, and like, oh yeah, let's see if this could work. The thing is, bro, like what's important about today's NBA is how the chemistry works and how the system works, more so than how players can go from being disgruntled on a one team and then coming in on the next and then looking to be the guy, because that's what you asking from Kawhi, that's what you asking from Jaylen Brown. The Tangerines, I'm not worried about them because they feel like they're gonna bring their team back minus Mitchell Robinson and go do what they do and go do what they did again, just because the NBA on NBC is back and they get their rivalry back with the Bulls. It's bullshit. So realistically, bro, like I won't be surprised if some young if some young team that's not spending a whole bunch of money ends up in the finals or the conference finals again. I won't.
Well, but again, a lot of players ain't doing what Brunson did and taking that pay cut. Brunson knew them way back with 4 flats on the Cadillac. You know, they probably met his moms, and you know what I mean. It was that type of shit. And I'm saying that to say because of the college history, and again,
Yeah,
emphasis
he
on
wanted
their
money
history.
now.
Hold on, emphasis on their history in college. A lot of these max players, they not taking no pay cuts. Look at Jalen Duran and the connection he got with Cade Cunningham. He ain't taking no goddamn pay cut. Take pay what? Pay cut? Pay what you mean?
Pay cut
Who
my
taking a
ass.
pay
That's
cut?
that's
I
what
ain't
I'm
taking no
saying.
pay. Like think,
That's what I'm
like
saying.
seriously,
Talk that shit.
but think about it. Think about it, bro. Look at the Brown and Tatum. And K Mel K Mel Francis in the chat, he was saying that too about Brown. They didn't want to pay 2 max contracts. And they want to pay, they paid Kane Cunningham that
Right.
max contract, and they want Jalen Duran to take less so you could play with Kane Cunningham. And he like,
Right.
no, I'm not doing that.
That's
Right.
you, Kevin.
Yeah,
The business
You gotta
definitely-
imagine.
well, I'm saying that to say a lot of these players is not going to do what Jalen Brunson did. He only did that because of the history they have with each other. Other than
Right,
that,
and
Also-
I agree with you. I
also-
agree. Breeze, you make a great point because if the day that Draymond Green decided to get greedy, bro, is the day that him and Steph is no longer together anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, bro? So there's a reason why Steph was making 50 pennies on a dollar when they first started on winning championships, and Draymond was too. When it was finally time for Draymond to get paid, it happened long after Steph got paid.
Yeah.
Them two is not together if Draymond did the shit that Jalen Green did.
But also,
they not.
like you said
yeah,
with that.
go
Hang
ahead.
on, real quick. Like you said with that, with Steph take the pay cut. Same with Brunson. Brunson now wants his money. He won. He did the pay cut. He wants his money. He was talking about that. He said, "Well, I took that pay cut, but now I want my money." That's the point. That yes, he took the pay cut for those 4 years, but he still want to get paid like a star because he played like a star. So that's the thing. Like, yeah, they got their ring. Once he gets paid, a lot of those guys are gone. So.
But look, this is what I'm saying. Like, that's the fact of it. But that's if you want to do it, that's how you do it. You just start a team, take the pay cut to build a roster, so that way y'all can win. They won, and then now you get paid. I mean, that's the textbook way to do it. You know what I mean? Now I'm saying that to say a lot of NBA teams won't be able to have that formula because they don't have the same relationships. OG had a relationship with somebody in the front office with the Knicks. You know, I know that from my co-hosts and the podcast that we used to do. That's why he got that big contract the way he did. Another thing was Brunson and his pops being on the roster. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of things gotta happen for you to have a championship roster because a lot of times these players are not passing up on the money. Even Emmanuel quickly was like, yeah, all that shit cool, but I'm trying to get paid. Like the Mitchell Robinson, he jumped out and said, yo, the truth will reveal itself. And because Jay Hart said, oh, he was mad that he left. It'd be the relationship with the teammate to teammate ain't the same relationship from player to franchise. The player got to go in there and do the negotiating with the business, do the business with them.
We
The
saw how
team ain't
Dante
come in there with
DiVincenzo
you.
left. Yep. We saw how Dante DiVincenzo left. We saw how Randall left.
He was mad. Remember, he was mad.
Yeah, he was mad at the sideline, bro. Listen, Jalen Brunson, for a lot of people that don't know, bro, like it was a lot of connections inside the organization, obviously. With his pops being part of the staff and bringing being brought in by Worldwide West, as his godfather, bro. Like they was able to put the damn Villanova Wildcats together, and then they ran out and got Cat. They ran out and got a whole bunch of people, bro. He left $100 million on the table, but somehow, some way, they couldn't keep Mitchell Robinson. But he left $100 million on the table. Some within the organization, like, and James Dolan is running around with a championship ring now.
Well, he said he's not paying that second apron. Well, he said he wasn't paying the second apron, and Mitch was like, okay, I know eventually my career is going to wind down, so I'll just take the money elsewhere. But go to Boston, that was cold. See a guy go from New York to Boston, that's always a cold moment.
Hey, bro, you go where the money is. Like, hey, to be fair, they like the thing is like this ain't the NFL with rivalries, bro. Like they don't care. They'll go to the team next door, where the money is.
Yeah, teams can't sign 2 max players no more, man. Go against the CBA.
Yeah.
So they gotta do what they gotta do. And Jaylen Brown, like, man, I was Finals MVP. Y'all trying to say he a number one option? Y'all gonna pay this dude, and he wasn't no Finals MVP, but y'all gonna pay him? And then, hell no. I want my money.
After just having my best season, a top 5 MVP candidate, like that's what I said.
But you gotta realize, you know what it is too. When it come down to the media and the rapport that he had with the media, I think that the Celtics didn't step in and back him up enough, like push against the big media. Like they just was letting the media take punches at him and take shots at him and shit. And I think he was just like, "Yo, damn, like I ain't even got my back for real."
But the thing is, you said that they didn't step up enough. They didn't step up at all. They let him get it because they put him in a trade rumor. And it fell apart, and he felt a way about it. He said he felt a way about it, and then they started pushing out this narrative. They were the ones pushing out the narrative, not nobody else. They did. These teams get to push out these narratives. They kept talking about how he think he's the smartest man in the room, which, to be fair, if you know Jaylen Brown, he probably is. Like this man is no less of an intelligent individual, so he probably is the smartest dude in the room. But that's neither here nor there. That man, he felt disrespected.
You know what it was? And again, you got to realize everything is a cause and effect. Because the big media was taking shots at him and the Celtics wasn't backing him, he started his podcast. Like, that's the only reason why he started his podcast, so he could have a voice. If you think that imagine you're the smartest man in the room, you're like, oh, let me think about it. If the Celtics franchise, they're not going to back me, but they're going to back Tatum, even though he hurt. I ain't get hurt. You know what I mean? But anyway, they back him, they pay him. But they let the media take shots at me, shit going on. They ain't jumping out, helping me. I got to get myself out of jams. All kind of shit he going through. Well, the USA team, imagine they called the NBA, called the Celtics, say, yo, yeah, we're going to have all of these players go to the USA team, but not Jaylen Brown. You trying to tell me he ain't come up in that convo? Should be happening. I think him leaving was best for him. It was the best thing. It was a smart thing to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I definitely agree with you with that. But at the same time, I felt like with the new ownership that came into Boston, you already knew the team was at some point was going to get blown up because they came in after that championship year and they saw the second apron after they spent $6.3 billion to get the team, to purchase the team. You knew some fat was going to be trimmed off that team.
Yeah,
everybody knew that. So
but all they really he ain't fat. They didn't prioritize. No, he's not
fat, but at the same time, the NBA is a what have you done for me 20 seconds ago type of league.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, bro? You could be top 6 in MVP. You could have your great ass season, but if you go into the playoffs and blow a 3-1 lead, bro, and then you bitch about it on your podcast.
But come on, let's call it what it is. You trying to tell me you putting that on Jaylen Brown, knowing damn well that the coach shot them out of that game, taking all of those 3-pointers when they had the lead.
But it's not only just the thing. It was also they trying to get off that. Nobody put it, but I'm saying they trying to get off that money too. Because think about it. Look at the team. Hang on, but look at the team 2 years ago. They had even the starting unit with Drew Holiday, Porzingis, Jaylen Brown. You had Sam Hauser on the bench. You had Luke Kennard. Like, that's what I'm saying. They had to get rid of a bunch of those players. They couldn't afford it. And that's why you see when they ran it with last year with them having damn near a two-way center. What's the name? Quita? Like he was a guy they just signed.
Yeah, they gave him the bag today, I think.
Yeah, they just gave him his bag. You had Peyton Pritchard, even though he was making it lower end money, but they re-signed him, I think, last year. The only real people still on the team that was getting paid is Derek White, Jason Tatum, and Sam Hauser. That's it. Everybody else is either on a brand new deal or they brand new to the organization.
Yeah, I think that ultimately it was the inevitable. You know what I mean? So I'm not even. But the 76ers, they are dangerous. And again, like I said, I get what you mean because all of these teams are in our division. I mean, we got to play them 4 times. We got to play the Knicks, the 76ers, the Celtics 4 times.
Yep.
Who else in our division? Toronto 4 times. Bro, this is a tough division. I always tell fans, I think the Atlantic Division is the toughest in the Eastern Conference. It might be the toughest division in the league, debating on win. But if we were to look at the divisions now, is the Atlantic Division the toughest division right now going into the season? In the
Probably.
NBA, is the Atlantic Division the toughest division in the NBA?
Maybe not the whole NBA, because you got like there's a division with OKC, Minnesota, Denver, Utah, and Portland.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of.
You should have stopped that. You should have stopped that before Utah, bro.
But ain't going Utah. You can't say Utah team is tough right now.
Utah is loaded, but I don't think they know what they're doing. They got a bunch of log jams at their position, bro. They need to figure out what they're doing. They just lost their starting center.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna move Triple J to the 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if they move Triple J to the 5, for one, that's a good thing because they should be asking him to rebound the ball. Like, what the hell? But these are the divisions, chat. I'm gonna probably put the poll in the chat, but we just talking. You know what I'm saying? Look at the different divisions. Look at the different teams in the divisions, and tell me where you think the toughest is. Well, tell me what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? What division is the toughest? You got the Atlantic Division with the Celtics, Nets, Knicks, 76ers, and the Raptors. That's the Atlantic Division. The Central Division, they got the Bulls, Cavs, Pistons, the Pacers, and the Bucks. I'm already say no to the Central Division. The Southeast Division, they got the Hawks, Hornets, Miami Heat, Orlando Magic, Wizards. I'm gonna say no to them. So I think out of the Eastern Conference, it's fair to say that the Atlantic Division is the toughest division. That's fair?
Yeah, that's fair. I think the Southwest is like the most competitive, though. Like I could genuinely.
Okay,
say, like,
we get in there. We get in there. In the Western Conference, Denver Nuggets, Minnesota Timberwolves, Oklahoma City Thunder, Portland Trailblazers, and Utah Jazz. That is tough. The Northwest Division is tough. I ain't gonna lie. They tough. Pacific Division, Golden State Warriors, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Suns, the Kings. I'm gonna say no. Southwest Division, Dallas Mavericks, Houston Rockets, Memphis Grizzlies, New Orleans Pelicans, San Antonio Spurs. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say
hang on. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Like I said, I was agree. I meant to say the Southeast Division. I said Southwest. I meant to say Southeast. I kind of heard what I said. Yeah, I think they're the most competitive. It is. Yeah, I think they're most competitive division. But
you think the Hawks, Hornets, and Miami Heat and Magic is the most competitive?
Most competitive because they're not really top heavy. If you
look
like at that
balance,
team,
you mean?
Yeah, that's why I said balance. Like that team, like right there, you could say any one of them damn near is probably the best team. That's why I said you can't really say
Miami
that about other teams.
Bro, Miami Heat got a big trade, yes.
I go with Memphis maybe.
They didn't fill that roster enough to be dangerous, bro.
I said Dallas is not moving me.
No, Engel, we talking about the Southeast. That's what I said, Southeast Division.
The Southeast or the
Yeah, that's Atlanta, Charlotte, Miami, Orlando.
Charlotte is going to take a back seat.
Okay.
Atlanta probably going to take a back seat. Miami's
going to be Atlanta.
Yeah,
you think Atlanta taking a back seat?
Yes. What you think Atlanta fans doing?
Who did they wait, hang on. Who did they lose?
Who did they
pick up?
What do you mean? Who did they have?
Bro, they had CJ McCollum. They lost Kuminga. They
still got CJ. They still got CJ.
They still got CJ. They lost Kuminga.
Okay, they didn't lose Kuminga.
Point guard.
Hang on.
They re-signed CJ?
No, hang on. They re-signed CJ. Yes, they lost Kuminga, but look at the rookies they also had.
But who's their point guard?
CJ.
The same one they had last year.
That's not enough to be part of. That's not enough.
That's
not enough, bro.
I think they still playoff.
I got Charlotte and Atlanta taking a back seat. Miami, Orlando, possibly Washington is going to be in the mix. The Bucks is going to take a back seat. Indiana, I don't know if they ever going to get back to where they was. Chicago, they could be a nice young up and coming team. They just got to get rid of all them international players in their lineup. The Cavs and the Pistons, the Cavs should win this division easily.
Let's come up big.
Yeah.
As far as our division goes, this shit is a whole lot of 2K my GM. That's what I see it. Boston, welcome to the Peyton Pritchard show. The Knickerbummers, the Tangerines, y'all never doing that shit that y'all did last year ever again.
The Sixers, they gotta win. Toronto, Kawhi's just over there just to retire.
Now he dodged that Rico
Yeah,
case.
but but I think, bro, that defense. I don't think he giving us 82 games. I'll give you that. But I do think that the Toronto Raptors are going to manage his health enough to try to make a playoff run. And I do think that he's going to play the top of the season, like the beginning of the season. And there's going to be a stretch where he doesn't play. And I think that comes after Toronto try to go up. Like they'll try to win 4 or 5 games, get a little momentum, give Kawhi Leonard any rest they could give him, because they definitely trying to make a playoff run with Kawhi Leonard. So I think they're going to be tough, but he can't rely on Kawhi Leonard to be there 82 games. I know that.
Yeah, but that's fine, because look how they did with Brandon Ingram. That's how they did most of the season. Brandon Ingram, even though he's younger, but still, Brandon Ingram nowhere near the player Kawhi Leonard is. They had him on like they were like easing him through the season.
Yeah.
So yeah, they good enough to do it.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna. I'm gonna say the Atlantic Division, but if y'all say the Northwest Division, I ain't mad. But I ain't going for nothing else. I ain't going for it. I'm gonna keep it real. We got this is JTV on the panel. Jay, talk to us, man. You already see what it is. Mikel Brown Jr. versus Darius Acuff Jr. This the Precap. But we talking about mad different shit, man. I seen you in the chat. What's the word, buddy?
What's goody, bro? How y'all doing?
Shit. Hungry. On the eat soon.
Nah, facts. But
we was just talking about the divisions and what's the toughest division. I said it's the Atlantic Division. But the Northwest Division kind of tough, so I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing I was looking at with contracts, I don't know if y'all seen it when I put it in the chat, but they gave Tory Eason fucking $80 million, and he tweeted, I guess, really, or some shit like that. Like he wasn't happy about the 80 million. Like what you guessing about? What you guessing about? You got 80 million average. I think 8 points last year, or maybe 10.
I guess.
I guess is crazy. And then
he wasn't on shit like that.
Getting life changing money. I guess.
Right. I guess it's crazy.
He was a star player or some shit like.
And
that's the audacity.
And then I heard y'all talking about Tobias Harris earlier with John. Yo, do you realize Tobias Harris has made more money in the NBA than Kobe Bean Bryant? Yeah. This nigga Tobias Harris made $330 million of straight NBA contract money.
Hey, the money keep going up, bro. The money keep going up. That's
Tobias Harris agent deserves a medal or an honor or something, because
medal of honor. Hey, what do you think? A medal of honor to get that man a contract? Nah,
he deserves something.
He deserved a medal with a Draco on it for robbing so many times.
That's what he deserved. Yeah.
That's what he deserved with a Draco symbol on that bit.
But this is what I'll be saying about these players that get these big contracts. They fall in love with the life that basketball give them, because we saying this and that, and I think he'd be tuning into people talking about shit about him on this podcast. It'd probably be all in the algorithms, and he's somewhere laid up in a hot tub with probably 2 baddies or whatever that he doing. And my point is that they don't care. They don't care about winning, bro. Everybody was so mad at Joel Embiid, but where was Tobias Harris? He was he was not helping on the offensive side of the ball. He couldn't help him on the defensive side of the ball, and he was just trash. And then he didn't help Cade Cunningham. He be having talent around him, bro, but he supposed to be that stretch four that down the man that make you can't double Cade Cunningham. That make you can't group rebound with Jalen Duren. It's an ISO situation, because if you leave Tobias Harris open, he's going to make you pay. He's going to make the defense pay. He does not do that shit, bro. Yeah, man. That, like Leaf said, bro, that dude is like that motherfucking movie, You Can't See Me Now. doing magical tricks to steal money out this motherfucker. Because he did some straight bullshit.
Tricks to steal money.
Yeah, y'all say what was y'all seen that movie?
Yeah.
You can't see me now, or
Catch me if you
catch
can or some shit.
if you can.
Can't see me now.
That was Tobias starring
Niggas was
Tobias
stealing
Harris
money.
and Ben Simmons. Word, man.
Yeah.
Shit,
That
Angle, you
nigga-
want to talk about another one? Dory Finney-Smith. That man, he got signed at the day what he did for the Lakers. He got signed by Houston. Barely played. Is getting paid. I think it was 4 years, like what 60, 70 mil. Man was unplayable.
It said Tyree Eason got offered $100 million last season. He didn't take it. They said he Cam Thomas himself. It's fucked up.
I guess.
Man,
You know what I mean?
I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, no, hang on. 5 years, 81 mil. That's how much he's getting?
Yeah, I think it was 4. I thought it was 4
No,
years.
I'm looking at it. It's
Okay.
5 years, 81 mil. Still, I guess. Like, bro, that shit
Yeah,
Bro,
crazy.
what you mean you guess, nigga? You in a tax-free state. You in a tax-free state. You getting all that. You getting all them bricks. What you talking about?
I guess,
Bruh.
man.
I
like,
guess.
Right. Like, and my thing is,
The niggas in Texas getting 5 years, 81,
yo,
and you ain't averaged
listen,
10 points, nigga.
right there, when you sign a player that say that, they not a threat in the West. They are not a threat. I am not worried about the Rockets. They ain't no rocket lifting off. Ain't none of that shit happening. That shit is quiet out there. I'm telling you.
Hang on, 16.5 million a year. I guess. I guess I'll take that.
Yeah, I guess. Like that
I
ain't
wasn't
that
doing
ain't
nothing
nothing.
else.
Yeah,
that
right.
ain't nothing. That ain't nothing, man. I can make more on this outside.
Right.
You
Like,
either
you,
take
that's
this-
like somebody, you know how
listen.
somebody about to go in, they're like, yo, bro, like, come with me to play some ball real quick. I'm about to go hoop, you know what I mean? Like, I guess I wasn't gonna go home and do nothing else, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might as well go to the park.
Nigga, listen.
He said it like that.
it's
He
either
made it seem
take this
like,
money-
man, got nothing better else to do than sign a contract for 81 million.
Exactly, bro. It's either take this money or go find Cam Thomas, nigga. That's what you go do.
Oh, why you gotta do that?
Well, y'all getting on Ken Thomas, man. He don't need that money, man. He
Yeah.
got all this other motion going on, man.
Yeah,
What other
like, hang
motion?
on.
Remember?
Hang on.
What
Like,
motion?
Yeah, hang on. Cam Thomas wasn't taking that I guess shit. He said, look, I'm not doing that. He said, I'm gonna get it or not. He didn't get it.
Yo, shout out to Cam Thomas, man. He might be a high school coach somewhere, man. Shout out to you,
Find
man.
that nigga.
I'm gonna find him. By
Yo,
the next stream,
he from where I live at. Like he from the area I live at. I hope I run into this nigga, yo. I really do.
Hey, hang on. Cam Reddish after getting out the league last year, he went overseas and now he's back on summer league team. I can't tell you which one. I think it might be Philly, but I know he's on one. summer league.
Ashley, you should have heard the Nets fans clamoring for Cam Reddish. Oh, he was right before us. But hold on. We gotta go to Notorious. He just joined the panel. He a member of the page. And like I said, I want the members to have that privilege where they get to talk their shit the most. And yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? They gotta have some kind of privilege, you know what I mean? Otherwise they just showing support. So I gotta be better at, giving the privilege to the members of the page. Shout out to Notorious for joining the panel. Always talking basketball. I'll be catching Notorious in spaces, be kicking up dust. He's dope at it. He's one of the better fans. When I say Nets fans are the best fans, I'll be talking about Notorious, man. You already know what it is, man. We waiting for that matchup tomorrow, man. I'm anticipating it. What up, though, Notorious? Talk to us, man.
Oh yeah, man. What's good, y'all? Ain't too much cracking, man. Just like you said, I'm waiting for this matchup tomorrow. Be prepared for a lot of projecting and spinning narratives after this matchup. Because I swear to you, if Acuff outplays Mikel, everybody's gonna be crashing out. So, see, I told you we should have took Acuff. He's gonna be better.
I said that same shit, bro.
But it depends on how bad he outplay him.
Yeah,
If it's close, nobody gonna care. But if he's like, this nigga Acuff scores fucking 25 and Mikel got 5,
right?
It's gonna be a lot of talk.
Either way it goes, and it's gonna be vice
Mikel
versa
got
too.
5. It's because it's
Yeah,
that's
but
his only
I'd
game.
rather us start on the up
They
end,
gonna just rest the
Notorious.
nigga,
I'd
bro.
rather us get the upper hand. And again, like I said, it's not just Darius versus Mikel. I put that in the title. But it's really Darius versus Mikel Brown Jr. and Diego Domin and Danny Wolf.
Nah, it's really, if you really want to look at it, it's Leaf versus Ox. You know what I mean? It's Leaf versus Big Ox. That's what it
That's
really
funny.
is. If you want,
That's funny. But
I
I
was
mean,
watching that
it,
episode the other day. That's a good episode, man.
That shit
right.
really ain't no battle, bro. The whole time he ain't explain how the Sacramento Kings in the last 6 years that have one playoff appearance, how they somehow above the Nets. He didn't explain that at
not.
all.
They're
you
not.
you supposed to ask him that while he was up here, bro. I was in the chat rooting for you that
I was
Oh,
night,
trying to
man,
man.
ask
listen.
him, bro. He going on about other shit. See,
Y'all
that's the
niggas.
thing, bro. And the nigga like Bobby, bro, like I'm telling you, they start rambling because they got 3 hours ahead of you. You got to remember, them niggas, while we sitting on 12 o'clock, them niggas is on 9 p.m. You know what I'm saying? So, like, them niggas is already lit. They done had their stogies, all of that shit, bro. Like, they just rambling on. That's
They
all
both
doing,
they
bro.
both been
Well,
terribly ran franchises throughout the year, so it's
well, we
really
gotta
no
beat
argument. I mean,
we gotta beat them niggas so you could talk your
what,
shit to that nigga, man.
I don't know
I ain't
what
gonna say
niggas is
nothing to that nigga.
arguing
He don't
about.
mess with me. Bro, he ain't do nothing on the Sacramento Kings since they got eliminated by Steph. That
That's
was
like
3 years
arguing
ago.
about who got more goals in the Special Olympics. I don't know, but anyway,
Yo, you out of pocket for that shit. You know
but it's
you
gonna
out
be
of
the
pocket
same
for
way. Like even if Mikel outplay Acuff, all the Mikel fans is gonna be pushing their narrative.
I'm gonna be talking
Yeah.
talk.
So besides that though, I'm chilling, man. Everybody's clamoring for Marks to make another move. Let me tell y'all something. Marks is not doing anything else with this roster. Okay. All the spots are full. I will be very surprised if he pivots off of somebody and doesn't move. I will be very surprised.
Nah, he got to get rid of some of these guards. We got too many guards.
Okay. I don't
You
see
don't
it
think so?
happening. Everybody think he's gonna go get Durant and Trey Murphy. I think it's a pipe dream. Pipe dream. But
Well, LeBron is in New York right now.
yeah, I heard. But no, they say LeBron probably gonna go to the Knicks or the Sixers.
No, I saw that because they said Maxie is signed to Clutch Sports, so he got a real good relationship
Listen,
with
LeBron
Maxie.
is at a place in his life right now. He's trying to piggyback off niggas to get another ring. He's not trying to do too much. He's trying to go to a team. He's trying to go to a team that's already competing, already got it, and he's just trying to.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking they're gonna go with Minnesota. I think he goes to play with Ant-Man and LaMelo Ball. I think he does that. I think he needed true point guard, and you get that in LaMelo Ball. I think the hesitation is to what K-Mel Francis is talking about. He said, I think he told Bronny play trash on purpose, being on his rookie contract. Bron and Rich Paul know what they're doing. He think they trying to get Bronny and Bron on the same team.
Yeah, but he's going to be asked to do more if he goes to Minnesota.
To start in 4.
If he go to Philly or New York, all he got to do is just play his little role and contribute and be good.
So you saying
you saw how Rich Paul threw that out there earlier? Rich Paul threw it out there like, oh yeah, he would play for the Knicks if they didn't win a championship. All he need for is JB to call him. If anything, JB called him right after that. Like, yo, you good?
I know,
Philly
right?
Just,
like he
Philly
straight
just signed
that
D
shit.
Wade. What about Philly just signing D Wade? You still think it's possible for LeBron to go there?
Nigga, it's D Wade. He going to the bench.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But can they afford him? Who could afford him out of those teams?
Bro, listen, LeBron not playing for no money right now.
Yeah, they said he'll take the vet minimum.
Yes.
Oh, word? That's what they talk about?
Yes. He not going. He not getting a bunch of money on his next joint.
Mm-hmm. Devon NYC said, I'm pushing narratives. He talking about if Mikel win it tomorrow. I'm pushing narratives too. I'm way better than Darius Acuff. You know what I'm saying? I'll be talking about shit.
Niggas already talk about Acuff because of practice clips, and I'm like, come on, man. Y'all doing some nasty shit out here, man. Like it's a practice, man. Look at him. He getting beat on defense. I'm like, Y'all niggas is wild.
I think that's kind of early. I ain't gonna lie. I seen that clip. I ain't want to bring that up. I just felt like that was reaching. That's
And you know what? You know I'm pro Mikel, but I still fuck with Acuff. But I think it's nasty on either side. That's just my personal opinion. You gotta wait to see how this shit play out, before niggas start pushing narratives. And I don't think a team practice is enough.
Yeah, JDJ funny as hell. He said Braun taking that I guess money. I guess I'll take it.
But Braun gotta understand, he at a point in his life right now, nigga. We know you great, but Father Time is undefeated. You have to play a lesser role, my G. So if you want that next ring, you're gonna have to go to a team where you're best suited for to fill in and play a role, and chill the fuck out.
Okay.
You ain't gonna be no number 1, number 2 option no more. You at that point in your career, you past that, bro.
He know that, and he got enough money. That's why he said he's even willing to take the vet minimum. He just looking for the right fit so he could go play some ball because he loves to play ball. Obviously, make some money and maybe get a ring.
Exactly. Fact.
But he good.
Yep. Pretty
So
much.
I mean, but just going around the panel, Notorious, where you want to see LeBron go?
Man, I don't give a shit where LeBron go. I don't care for LeBron, so it don't matter to me. I want to see him retire. That's what I want. I'm sick of him.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying he's great. I just feel like he's an attention whore. Like everywhere he goes, it gotta be about him. Like, But I'm not gonna sit up here and deny that he's great and he's one of the greatest basketball players that ever played. I just think he got an ego problem. You feel me? And I don't know. I really don't care. I'm not a big LeBron fan. Wherever he go is cool with me, I guess. Whatever.
All right, LBL, you got something on this, or you just want to talk that?
What's that? Man, I'd just say I wanted him to go to Golden State. I'd like to see, let the old guys, like them action movies that we're making with Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, all the old guys. I forgot the name of it, but let them go there and just let KD go there too. Let them go back to Golden State too. Just have a bunch of 35 and up guys go.
But bro, they got
and see if they can do it.
Too. They can't do that, bro.
Age and experience versus prime and young people.
Bro, they contracts.
I ain't mad at that.
That's how I see it.
I don't think the contracts allow for all that to happen unless KD gonna take. I don't think KD taking a pay cut just because LeBron taking a pay cut. Don't mean all these other players taking a pay cut either. And Draymond Green is a free agent. Who the hell picking up Draymond Green? He finna retire.
Then he already took a lesser contract, I think.
What's
so
up?
LeBron
I can't hear no one now.
And then they didn't get LeBron. They signed somebody else. I forgot who they signed because they couldn't get AD. Because they were trying to get AD. But
yeah, they were trying to get AD and LeBron on Golden State.
But AD didn't want to take the money.
I don't think the Wizards wanted him to go or some shit like that. When something happened where Draymond took less money so they could have roster money on the roster so they could get AD, but they couldn't get AD, and then they ended up signing somebody else. And I know Draymond feels stupid.
Yeah, they signed Porzingis.
Right. Draymond feel dumb.
Like, we did it. Oh, we got AD, not Porzingis. God damn it. But who knows, man? All I can say is that I know that somebody like Draymond Green ain't going to no other team. When he went into free agency, I was like, why? Why are you even doing that? You know you're going to play with the Warriors.
He's the ultimate role player for the Warriors system.
But didn't he had a player option, right?
I don't know.
And I think that's why he turned it down so he could take less money. But
I don't think LeBron, Draymond, and Steph is enough. Not in this Western Conference.
I don't.
just the wear and tear, all of those different teams, night after game after game.
Yeah,
It's,
it's not.
That
It's not enough help.
I don't see
that's
how he
why
even
that's why
gets
I
to the
like
playoffs,
LBL.
bro.
That's why I like what LBL said. Let them team up the same way they did in the Olympics and see what they could if they could do the same thing they did in the Olympics in the NBA.
But you think KD taking a pay cut to do that?
I don't know.
No,
I don't know. He got enough money too, man.
Babe, who's at the door?
they
They
all got
got
enough money.
yeah, they got money.
Mm-hmm. So, me
I,
personally, I think he's gonna go to Minnesota. I
Yo,
think.
you know one thing
and
I
they do
was.
keep dangling KD in trade talks that I keep hearing about because they're going to trade him for Jalen
I
Brown.
heard Sagoon was in trade talks.
That's
Yeah,
because he never
They
really
just
was
want
that
that old
nice.
Rocket team.
But you know what though? I think I was just going back with Jay from Brooklyn's Finest Three, and I can't believe there's so many freaking analytic geeks that Nets fans. I'm like, to me, that's the biggest problem with basketball is all of these analytic people.
it's the
Yeah.
analytics
But
people versus
Like
the eye
like you know
test
like like
people.
like I just had a back and forth tweet with him, and I said, look, when you going on a 3-on-1 break, right? Three people, the transition. There's only one defender back, and I said, now when they pass that ball out to one of the three who spreads out to shoot a three, that's not a higher percentage shot to score than two more guys going to the basket against one guy.
It's not. But it's all
And
about
but
value.
he argued it is. He said because it's worth more, meaning the 3 points rather than the two or the one you get fouled.
It's not a higher percentage shot, but it's about volume. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
that's what he said. It's the higher valued shot. But I'm saying that doesn't make sense because
But
there's a
LBO,
chance.
that's a dumb argument anyway, because players usually
But
shoot worse from three than they do two. So how is it a
yeah,
higher
but that's what
percentage
I'm
shot?
saying. So you pass it out to that guy who flares out and he misses that three. Now you get no points out of it. At least if the guy flares out, but the other two are only being defended by one guy, they could either pass it to each other or the guy can still foul him, but he's guaranteed to go to the line. He's guaranteed to have an opportunity to score.
Or
You get what I'm saying?
like that
That's
time,
higher percentage basketball.
yeah, like that time Lamelo ball was on fast. He deviated from the layup and went to shoot a three on the
I,
corner three.
I love that play. Even though there's some bullshit, I love that play. That's why I fuck with LaMelo. LaMelo do unorthodox dumb shit.
That
He
nigga just
do.
be doing anything, bro. He be playing
He
street
play
ball.
like it's LA Fit, like he had LA Fitness
Yeah.
on the weekend.
Right.
But that's
Yeah,
what but
man,
that's what I'm saying
he
though.
gonna
But I'm
drive
saying,
Braun
but
crazy
this
if they on the same team. He do some shit like that.
and then let's talk about this other stat that really needs to be thrown out of basketball forever. Plus minus.
No,
Right.
hold up. Wait. Did y'all hear?
We
What's
go
the
here.
stat that the Celtics traded Jalen Brown over? Did
They
y'all hear
said they
about
said
that?
out of 23 guys, I think he was 22nd, and then
It,
DeRozan was 23rd
but it
in
wasn't.
plus minus for their teams, and they were the
But
only two guys that were in the negative,
it
like
wasn't plus
where their
minus.
team was better off without them than with them.
Yeah, it was
Live.
some other. It was some other stat
But
that I never even heard of.
what I'm talking about is the one we go by game after game. Like when we say, "Oh, okay, Dayron was in the game and he was +8," and I'm like, "But we lost by 30 points. What does that matter?"
They
No,
were saying that
hold
they were
on, y'all.
saying
Can't,
Derek White is better
yeah.
than Jalen Brown because of that stat. I forgot what stat it was, but
Hold on.
Derek.
I wanted to segue the conversation into the Jalen Brown thing, and I'm gonna tell y'all what I said before y'all join the panel, and then
All right.
add to what I was going to say to it for context. Jalen Brown, in my opinion, only started that podcast to fight back versus big media because they was smutting his name out. They was dragging it through the mud, and he was just tired of that shit. And I think even Allen Iverson back in the day when he went through all of that shit with the media, that back then if podcasts were a thing, he would have been on podcast or had his own podcast. And I'm saying all that to say, to segue the conversation, to say, I remember me and Jay was talking about this, about how it's a good thing or a bad thing that players have podcasts. Now, for this reason, I'm gonna say yes, it's a good thing, because you don't want the big media just shitting all over your name, and then the only time you get to address it is the way you answer the questions from the journalists after the post game. So podcasts for players, I like it because it empowers them and gives them a voice to control their own narrative, opposed to, what big media might say. And let's call it what it is. We could say that some big media destroys some of the chances for Jalen Brunson. I mean, not Jalen Brown. They probably destroyed the chances of him getting a Nike sneaker for whatever reason, or him getting on a USA team for whatever reason,
Breeze,
or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? So what do y'all think about players having
Breeze.
podcasts and having their own voice?
Just one thing that he said that accentuates the point even more. If you listen to what Jalen Brown himself said, he said he likes the live, because on the live you can't, because what he's saying is, even if you have, like, so he likes when you can go live, because you know how some guys will record a podcast, but sometimes it won't even be live, that they'll just put up something that they did earlier in the day, and then they'll put it up there, and then they'll just have people report on it, so it's not really a podcast, but it appears like one. And that's what he was talking about, all the social engineering that comes from all of those type of things. So he said that's why he prefers being on there live, because then you can't have no lies and everything when it's right there.
Man, I thought that was
Yeah, I know what
crazy
you mean.
that
You
they.
talk about the way they clip it up to make it sound like he said something crazy. I know what you mean.
Yeah, yeah. So he said that's why he prefers live, because then you'll be able to see what he's saying in real time and not manipulate it.
I think it's insane that they wanted to get rid of the man because they say he thinks he's the smartest person in the room. But the dude got degrees from Caltech. He worked for NASA, MIT scholar. Like, he probably is the smartest person in the room a lot of the time. So if he thinks that, he's probably right. Like, how do you put that on somebody's fucking a reason for trading them?
No, I think it was because the Celtics wasn't backing him. The big media was saying all this spicy stuff about him, and it wasn't backing him. I think that's why he started the podcast to fight back versus Stephen A. Smith. And all of the media pundits that was, he had the state your source thing. Like, yo, y'all always talking about your source. Was it you? Because you saying you got this source. What source? Yeah,
Well, he actually came out and said, when he named Stephen A. and he named two other guys, he said, "You know what? I think y'all are the sources. Y'all don't have any sources. Y'all are the source."
right. I like that he exposed that. So y'all think that players having a podcast is a good thing?
For some, because remember, the guy he got traded for, they said they blamed his podcast as the reason why he wasn't playing well, right? Or not playing often, right? I'm saying Paul George, remember when he had
Mhm.
his? They're like, yo, why you
Yeah.
got a podcast and you ain't even going to games?
Yo, I'm not
Podcast.
gonna lie. As a fan, yo, I'll listen to your podcast if you got good points and you're making sense. But if you're doing bad while you're playing, I don't want to hear your podcast. I want you to improve your game. But like I said before, when we was talking about this, players can't be in the gym 24 hours a day. So in your off time, if you want to take a couple hours and do a podcast, cool. But just like that, as a person and being realistic, but as a fan, if you playing like ass, I don't want to hear your podcast. I wish you would go shoot some free throws or whatever the
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. Well, but I think that yeah, there's also that financial aspect, because I know some of you probably saw that that tweet on X where they were talking about how the private equity team bought the Celtics, and they're just really trying to save money.
Mm-hmm.
So he said that was the real thing pushing it was because they was trying to get from off of that last year. And then people who say act like it
I
was
heard
a whole lot of money.
they
It
said
wasn't a
Peyton
whole lot of
Pritchard.
money.
They said Peyton Pritchard about to be Jalen Brunson over there. That's what they
Lies.
think. That's
Yeah, I
what they
seen
think.
that too. That's lies, bro. Ain't no way
Well,
that's happening.
maybe he can become that if Rick Brunson, adopts him.
But I don't know.
But but
Celtic.
what I do know is that all of this slander, for me, it's not the trade itself because on the basketball thing, it's like okay, you didn't want to pay that last year, or you wanted to be able to get a pick because you don't want to be in the position of two or 3 years from now. Now you got to give him a new deal, so you don't want to be in that position, so you're getting rid of him now. I get all of that, but so it wasn't so much that the Celtics giving up on him or anything for me, but what it really was these guys in the media just saying all of this craziness uh, about this dude. It's like another black man slander because it's like you cannot come out and tell me that this one executive and one GM, yeah, he thinks he's got a disease. I mean, what the hell are you talking about? I mean, don't think that you can say that and you won't get no backlash. That's what I'm trying to say. That's Colin Coward, right?
I
Yeah,
don't know. But
yeah, I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is Jalen Brown took that same clip, played it, and then was streaming live and say, "See, this is why this sounds yada yada yada," and that's why I'm saying it's good that players have podcasts. Before I just looked at it as a distraction, and I don't think that in this
Well, you
example,
know
it's a
what it
different
is, right?
podcast.
It's also
But
bro, people
if
care
big
too much
media
what
want to
other
do that,
people
you gotta
think,
push that.
bro.
it's
People care
also
too much
job
what other people
security.
think. Fucking
It
play the game.
listen, it's
Show
also
whatever
but it's
happened to show that shit on the court.
but Jay, it's also job security, right? Because look at all these guys, like who the hell is gonna tune into the one that Tim Tim McMahon, Brian Windhurst, and the other guy have those three white guys covering basketball. Who's gonna turn into that when you got guys who actually play basketball and you can hear their real opinions, And
Yeah.
that's what they're afraid of. That's what they're afraid of is that they're losing their jobs. They're afraid all these podcasts will be those infamous black jobs.
Yo, bro, without calling it black jobs, bro, podcasts has changed the game. Super chats changed the game. Super chats changed the game because now it's interactive. And the fans got a voice through super chats and other mediums like podcasts, but just the super chat part of it. If you're watching, you can watch ESPN and you want to say something to somebody on ESPN, you can't. They ain't got no super chat. But the podcasters do, and you rather talk to somebody who could talk back to you. The podcasters has changed the game, and
I
I know that
wonder
was
I wonder at
excuse me.
what point I wonder at what point does someone ignore a super chat?
I'm sure people do.
A
Because
disrespectful super chat, sure. If it's
because
disrespectful, yeah.
no, I'm saying because like if you got like, if you got like real money like Jeff Bezos money, Elon Musk money, you could hijack somebody's whole thing if you just saying, okay, I'm gonna just pay for another super chat. Just put my more, I'm gonna pay for another super chat. So then it becomes a thing of, oh, you got money to do it. Meanwhile, LBL don't have no money, so he ain't ever super chat. You get what I'm saying?
Nah, they do that because when
Yeah.
you look at a lot of these big creators, they try to acknowledge all of the super chats because they want people to keep sending in money. Like that's
No, but
kind
that's
of
what
the
I'm
goal of
saying.
them being live.
But then that
Some of them
becomes the
don't.
super chat is more important than the chat.
Yes, that is a fact. That's why it's super.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it is monetarily, but also it doesn't mean that that's the right. Like you could say something brilliant in a regular chat, but
Yeah, but
it's not
that
amplified.
it's like you're just gonna get preferential treatment because you paid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm
Right,
saying. So then it
but
becomes something
right, but
other
what I'm
than
saying,
truthful.
right, but no, but what I'm saying is it's interactive. There's Stephen A. Smith. You just watching these people. You just whatever they say is whatever they say. And on top of that, now we got probably podcasters got commercials too. But there was a space and time where it wasn't no commercials. ESPN, all of these big platforms, these sport platforms, they got commercials, and I've seen great super chats that change the topic and change, you know what I'm saying, just the trajectory of the conversation. And hold on, shout out to big homie Stay Solid. He gifted somebody a membership. So you know what I mean? I want to say thank you to big homie Stay Solid. And again, I put emphasis on us, excuse me, Nets fans showing Nets fans support because we don't have big media until we big media, bro. They do not talk good about us, hardly talk about us, and when they do, it's really not a lot. It's just, I guess, part of their job, and then they get to what they really want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, shout out to big homie, Stay Solid. Everybody that's, you know what I mean, subscribe, that's members. I appreciate the support. It really does help, and I'm able to bring y'all more content with the more y'all support. So shout out to y'all, man. Again,
And
but
that's
yeah, I was
another thing with the legacy media. Those guys, they don't watch as many games as regular fans do.
Mhm.
You know, like if you're a Nets fan, chances
You watching
are,
more games. You watching more net
chances
fan games than them.
no, I'm
Yeah, net
saying
games.
chances are, if you're a Nets fan or whatever, right? Chances are, out of 82 games, you might watch like 75% of them. You know what I mean? You might watch, like at least 60 of them or whatever, right? And then you're watching other games that come on, when you get a chance. But what I'm saying is these guys like the Charles Barkleys, all those people at ESPN, all those guys at NBC, they don't watch that. They don't watch all them games. They only watch the top 10. They
Exactly.
watch the top 10 teams play each other all the time. And then that's why they don't know anybody when it's an up and coming team. They don't know anyone. They're like, oh, I can't even say the guy's name.
Exactly.
Uh-oh. Sound like a gunshot outside my house. Let me go look.
Early July 4th. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Beast New York, yo.
Yeah, man. Hope everything's safe, man. Safety. Shout out
But
to LVL, man. You already know what it is, man. Shout out to This Is JTV. We got a podcast together. Come on Thursdays at 9 p.m. It's called Stir the Pot. Check that out. Shout out to Leaf 4788.
And I got on a
Um,
real chef hat in my avatar. Now I mean, not like Breezy with his fake chef hat.
Stop it. We all got the same chef hat on. Um,
yo,
shout
but you
to,
know what? You know
that,
what
was,
I've been
that
doing? I've
wasn't a
been put.
gunshot. You good? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I was gonna say that. Yeah, you know what? I started putting the hashtag protect and project black men because I feel like this slander for JB. It's like we don't even have to slander anyone else. Like we don't even have to go back and say, because anybody who watches it could see that he's a superior player to Derek White. But we don't have to go and put up all of Derek White's, bad numbers and say, look, this dude sucked during the thing. So how can you say that? It's like, because look, now you just downing another brother instead of saying what it's really about. When it's really about the management. And I was disappointed in like Mike Wilbon for ESPN because now he's like, it's not Brad Stevens. It's not Brad Stevens. It's the ownership, and I'm like, well, I know one thing. When Ime Udoka got in that trouble, right? This dude like freaking leaped with a cape in front so we couldn't see, well, who's the other party if there's two consenting adults cheating on their spouses or girlfriends, right? I mean, spies, whoever cheating on them, and it was him and it was an executive's wife, right? So we don't get to hear who she is, but now you done put Adoka out there on Front Street. And remember Jalen Rose, he had to come back and apologize for
I
saying,
remember.
yo, I don't think it's even. So that's what I'm saying. But Brad Stevens, well, we're not gonna reveal her name, this and that. But I'm like, so then why you reveal his name? Why ain't you just fire him and say,
Keep it internal.
yeah? So I mean, because now you're making it look like he's a predator, like he, like he did something, like he's messing with the, like the equipment manager girl or something. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on, man.
No, that's
So,
serious. That's serious. I
But
think
that's
so,
he
why
so
I
that's
thought it
what I'm
was.
saying. I don't like the fact that they keep doing this, especially in this climate. You can't slander this dude. Now I'm so proud of like David West, Steph Marbury, all them guys came out for Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I thought it was whack that the Nets wouldn't sign him back. Like, because I think it was a big mistake letting him go in the first place. And then once that happened, it was a golden opportunity to get him back. He didn't do nothing wrong. He slept with somebody's wife that wanted to sleep with him. Like, that was that's a problem in their marriage. That got nothing to do with basketball.
Jay's only saying that because he wants Nia Long, right?
Yo, I just seen a video the other day about all of the rappers that put Nia Long in their songs, and she got like she might be top tier black woman because I don't know of a person that more rappers have put their name in a song. Like she might be number one.
Yeah, she's of that age, man.
Yeah, and she got songs from all the way back in the day to recent ones.
Yep. But
But
I,
shout,
I,
shout to Nia Long though.
oh, definitely. But like I said, man, it's crazy the slander that this dude has gotten, and all he's done is good for the community.
Yeah. And I like
you
bad
gotta
press
realize
about
no,
that.
but you gotta realize the specifics about him being good in the community is when he got that contract at first, he was like, yeah, I want to help all of the black people in Boston. This is one of the most racist towns. He's like, yeah, I want to help the urban community. I want to, be a part of rebuilding, spreading the, excuse me, spreading the wealth, helping the economy. He's trying to change the infrastructure of how the economy works with his NBA contract. They ain't jacking that shit. They like, what? You want to do, huh? Here? Not
He
here,
mentioned he mentioned Black Wall Street.
bruh. He's trying to put Black Wall Street in one of the most racist NBA towns. They was not
But
having.
but you know what? I'm a refrain from the thing
Ridiculous.
because I didn't like Jamel Hill's take on it. I know she's from Detroit, but when she started talking about it, and she started talking about, well, Boston's always been a racist town and this and that. But this don't have nothing to do with Boston, really. It got something to do with Boston's with the management at the Celtics. But if you
I,
really
I
look
would I
at,
would I would say the ownership, LB, because remember they changed owners right
yeah,
after
that's
they
what
won
I'm
the
saying. It's
championship.
on them. But he is really for a black athlete in that city. He's very beloved.
Can I?
I,
Here's my thing, right? How do we know this is coming from ownership? Because, like JB said, this shit is coming from Stephen A. Smith and a lot of these plants who are just saying shit. JB never
right,
really said anything bad about the ownership. We don't know. Listen, I personally think this is all financial. It's all about economics. Jaylen Brown is getting paid $60 million. He's going to get paid $64 million the next season after that. And then the
uh-huh,
next season after that, he's going to get paid $69 million. Okay.
right,
He is one of the most profitable players in the NBA right now. We know
mhm,
how the new CBA goes. We know how the new
mhm,
cap floor goes. So I'm not,
mhm,
what I'm saying? I get it. Like, we understand Boston is a racist town. So it's easy to kind of build that narrative, right? But
right.
at the same time, Jaylen Brown never really said nothing bad about the organization. He's going after Stephen A. Smith and them who are spinning these narratives.
No,
Right.
because he knows that they're cowards and he knows that they're flunkies for whoever is behind the real hits. But also when you're saying that about it's not just Stephen A and it's not just, like those type of people. It's also the fact that Jaylen Brown, you know, like if you look at the money aspect, he's making 57, right? This year, right?
Yeah.
Paul George is making 54.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a big difference. The next year, he's making more, right? And then Paul George is still making around 53 or 54. So it's not that big a difference. And then when you say, well, Jalen has 3 years left and Paul George has 2 years left. So you're talking about one extra year. So is it really that one extra year that they're trying to save? Nah, they trying to get rid of a problem along with that.
Yeah, they are, but at the same time, I think when you make a podcast and then you say all of these things and this, that, and the third on the podcast, go back to when KD got hurt on OKC and then Russ started going off, and then the year after that, he said that's one of his favorite seasons, bro. It almost pales into comparison. The same thing that Jaylen Brown was trying to
You
say.
you found something? You found something wrong with him saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Not me. I didn't at all.
I found something wrong with it based on the fact that you spent 9 years with the same player. Y'all came up together. Y'all been the 6 conference finals and y'all won a championship.
And you was the finals MVP.
The year that y'all won the championship, you won the finals MVP. Why wasn't that your favorite season?
You know why? Because he's a selfless guy in that way. It's like, yeah, we won. I got the MVP. But what he's saying is, but you also have to take into account, remember the snub from the Olympic team? Remember the snub where he didn't get picked?
That was because
and then on top of that, but then on
that was because
no, but
of
I'm
Nike.
saying, but then on top of that, when Tatum got hurt, everyone, and I'm saying, I'm sure I was in there too, where everyone was saying, "Oh no, now they're gonna tank for 1 year while Tatum they're gonna tank for
I said
1
that.
year and come back and get AJ DeBonster or someone and
I was
team them
saying
up
that.
with."
Yep.
So this is what I'm saying. He took that team, put it on his back, and said, "Nah, we ain't tanking." And he had an MVP type year without Tatum. And what I'm trying to say is he should be proud of that. When people counted you out
But look
and then
how
you
It's
did
not,
that.
you know what it is? Hold on, but hold on. Let me say this. I just want, hold on, but
no,
this the
hold on,
narrative.
hold on. Look how that year
Hold
ended
on, hold
though.
on. The
It's
narrative,
about it's
hold on. The
it's not
narrative is him
about how
being
it
number 2
ended. It's
behind
about the
Jason Tatum that
resilience he
whole career,
showed.
though. But no,
But
the
who
whole,
counted him out
hold
though?
on. His whole career, it was about being second to Jason Tatum. And I think that's what it was. Like,
Bro,
and again, not hold on.
that's
And
what it's
hold on.
selfish.
Right, but this is the cherry on top, is that now Jason Tatum is the clear number 1. Now let's see what they do with him being a clear number 1, because they always, and in my opinion, they toggle, or Jaylen Brown at least always in his mind toggle. Like, yeah, I might be the number 2 tonight, but I ain't always the number 2. It's no fucking way. Not the way I'm putting in this work, the way I contribute to the team winning. I'm not the number 2 night after night. I might be once a week or twice, but no, not on some regular shit. I'm not the 2 behind Tatum. I never think he felt that way. I never think he felt that
And that's
way.
fine for him to feel that way, right? Should he feel that way? I mean, I wouldn't want him to defer.
Why
No,
not?
But
he
would
shouldn't
you
feel
do
that
y'all
way.
Yeah,
think
There's
he
I
was
nothing
feel
wrong
like
with
they
He
being
I
was
feel
the
like
confident.
they
reason.
should
Wasn't he
they should
picking up?
feel it's a
Wasn't
team
he picking
game.
up
That's what
Luca?
he should
Wasn't
feel.
he picking up Luca full court? Wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he deserved that, man.
Yo, when you're focused on individual success as in a team sport, that's not a great thing.
Yeah, it's a selfish thing. So what I'm saying is he wasn't, to me, he didn't say it was his most successful season because he had career highs in points, assists, and rebounds. He was saying because everybody thought they were
Because
gonna
it was
tank.
all about him.
Everybody counted. No, he's saying everybody counted them out. And look at how
Yeah,
much they
bounced in the
did.
first
Well, they
round
counted
in
them
a
out for a
egregious
reason.
fashion.
No, but I'm
They
saying, but he
they
proved
counted them
them
out for a
wrong, didn't
reason,
he?
and they did end up the season by blowing the 3-1
No,
lead.
but he
Right.
proved everyone wrong, though, right?
No,
Like,
they blew a
what?
3-1
What?
lead to
Hold
a
on,
No,
team
hold
you
that
on.
they
Let me
should
but
have
let me
but
beat.
tell me this.
hold
Tell me
on, hold on,
this.
hold on.
Was
Hold on.
Jason
Help me out.
Tatum playing?
LBL. They not supposed to just sink and be trash without Tatum. He's one player.
We said that they were going to be that because they wanted AJ or Cam Boozer or whatever.
Right,
Don't act like we didn't say that.
No. But what I'm saying
some
is,
people were saying
hold
that.
on. Let me be clear. Tanking is playing bad intentionally because you're going for a draft pick. But to say that I thought there was a bad roster, just missing one player in Tatum, no. I didn't think they was the number 1, 2 in the East, but I definitely gave them 7th, 8th, 6th, 7th, 8, toggling between those three in the standings. But Notorious, what you were saying about this? What you guys said?
Huh? What you say?
No, I was listening. You was about to say something. What you was going to say?
No, I was just saying. LBL is correct. There were people saying that the Celtics were pretty much going to take a step back, but I don't think it was anybody thought it was a big enough step to where they weren't going to make the playoffs. But people were saying they were kind of finished because Tatum was hurt. So that narrative was kind of being thrown around. That's all.
Yeah, that's true. And I thought they was trying to focus on it. I thought they was being greedy. DMX boy, stop being greedy. I thought they was trying to get AJ the bench. I said, God damn. Because
that's what I'm saying. But look at how he flipped that. Jalen did that. He did that.
Favorite season would turn me off as a fan after y'all. Like, if I was a fan of the Celtics, y'all just blew a 3-1 lead and you just come on your podcast. Yeah, this was my favorite season so far. And you just won Finals MVP 2 years ago. No, I'm looking at you like you stupid. I'm commenting mad shit in the chat after you say that.
Facts.
Not to me. I see where he says that. I see because he's talking about being resilient.
But he making it seem, bro, like he was Kobe.
But that championship ain't mean shit.
He making it seem like that, like he was Kobe and that nigga was Shaq, bro. Like that's not the case. Both of y'all niggas was equally the two best options on that team for years and years and years.
But it's funny though. They lost in the playoffs. But the last time I checked, when they lost in the playoffs, Tatum was back. So how come he gets the slander?
He wasn't playing though.
Tatum was hurt.
But Tatum came off an Achilles injury.
He did come back
and played like the last couple of games in that series.
And he didn't play game 7, bro. And I knew he really wasn't supposed to play at all. They rushed that shit. When you got an Achilles, you're supposed to do what Kevin Durant did and sit out for a whole other year. That's what you're supposed to do. When KD signed with us, bro, we gave him a whole year to sit out. Everybody in here remembers that.
My nigga leaves Mike on steroids, bro.
And if we would have had the year, that Boston had, you know, when KD was out, if we would have had that kind of year with just Kyrie would have been in the MVP conversation too.
Well, the thing is, here's the thing, bro. We had a chance to have that year, and Kyrie had a chance to have that year with Boston, and he never did it. Kyrie had basically 3 years with a team that was his, bro. He had 2 years with Boston and 1 year with us.
And he flubbed it.
He never was able to accomplish what JB accomplished.
But guess what?
Tatum rushed back, and that's what really cost him, bro. Like he shouldn't have never been back in the lineup in the first place.
I wouldn't have taken that chance with the investment that I was putting in them.
I wouldn't take the chance either.
But then again, don't forget, since we mentioned Kyrie, remember that what's the name was one of the first current players, Jaylen Brown, to back Kyrie. When Nike got rid of it, all of a sudden y'all got ethics.
And that's why he wasn't invited to the Olympic shit, because Nike was running that shit and they remember what he did.
And that don't make it right though. But that don't make it right.
But at the same time, if you like if
I know you're not about to say you gotta know this, so don't say anything.
No. That's not what I'm about to say, bro. If you homies with the nigga that's supposed to be my enemy, bro, I'm not messing with you.
Hold on, what you
But we talking about a company. We're not talking about no homies. Stop. We're not talking about homies. We're talking about a company. We're talking about a company that uses people.
I'm just giving a comparison, bro. That's probably how they looked at it. They was just like, we was gonna invite this nigga, bro. Like, even though he was cool with JT, but now we not, bro, because he just did dumb shit with Kyrie, and we don't mess with him, and because he don't mess with us. That's probably what happened. More than likely.
I wanted to say this. if you really paying attention, bro, you knew the media does not like Kyrie Irving, and they don't
Definitely.
like Jaylen Brown.
Definitely.
They
Right.
don't. And
They
you
don't
gotta
like
But
anyone
understand
it's they
the
don't
whose
big.
like
speech they
they
can't
don't like
Listen,
control.
black men that speak for
hold on.
themselves.
Exactly. And that's why we
The
need to support them, even when we
not only the
disagree with them.
media though, like the big business that's kind of like in
Exactly.
bed with the
Yo, they
NBA,
told
like
LeBron to
Nike and
shut up
all of
and
that.
dribble.
So,
That's
like I said,
crazy
I
work.
think this is more
That's crazy
of a
work.
media thing
That's what
against
I
them
keep
than
saying.
anything.
That's what I
Hmm.
keep saying. The thing that I'm mad about Colin Coward. I'm mad about Brian Windhurst. No, just because one GM out of 30 says, he said one executive and one scout. Oh, he's got this disease where he thinks he's the smartest. You know what? I would have just looked at him and then I would have said, can you pass the blunt back? You sure you want to say that? You know what I'm saying? Because come on. Come on. He said, one guy said that he would be the seventh best player on the team. Come on,
Malarkey.
man.
We
What you
all
That's what
smoking,
they do
man?
when
right.
the media don't rock with you. They try to destroy your image.
And
Right.
that's what
So
they're trying
okay.
to do
So
right now.
right.
That's what they're trying
Right.
to
Bro,
do. They're
So
Yeah,
character
hold on. Let
assassinating
me.
him.
it's that
Right.
they are surprised that this black man can be smarter than all of them.
Right, but no, but what I'm saying is the smart thing that they don't like is him starting that podcast because instead of them again for a long time without podcasts, it was what the media said about you, and that was law. That was it, bro. That was what
You're fighting against that right now,
all of that.
Breezy.
Right,
Breezy,
right. That's what I'm saying.
you fighting against that right now because when you got all of these Nets Daily people and all these other people who we interact with, but they always Billy Reinhart, when you got all these things and they're freaking shills for Marks and they're just saying whatever he says, and then you say, no, I don't want you to cut my boy Cam Thomas. I think he hasn't gotten a fair shake. Even if I disagree, I'm like, but you should be able to say that, and these guys should be able to
Right.
step up and not just be robots.
Right. No, absolutely. I do the same thing with any content that I see from big media that I don't like. I'll go over it, disagree with it, and you know what I'm saying. It's like that. We gotta be big media until we big media. You know what I mean? It's just like that. Notorious. What was you gonna say?
Big
No,
media
I was
versus
just
big fan media.
I was just gonna say,
Right.
is this certain people in the media and they certain players, man, and like for one, I think Stephen A is a fucking plant. Like I
Mhm.
personally, I don't like him. I think he's a part of the problem. He attacks players, he pushes
Mm-hmm.
narratives, and he
Mm-hmm.
causes division.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you got to understand, like a lot of these players too, they push back on the media. You know, they're strong headed. People like Kyrie Irving,
Mhm.
people like Jaylen Brown, they
Yeah.
question things. You know,
And you
But
know
and
what?
guys
so,
in the
but
media don't like that.
what
So
makes the law? What makes big media word law? And I think that's what players are saying. Like
The
y'all
money,
want
the
but
money.
listen. Think about it. For a long time, big media they'll say, "I got anonymous sources in the locker room that say he's a bad teammate." Like
Yep.
who? Who you talking about? Not just my guy that we just went to Ruby Tuesdays.
Stephen,
You
they
know what I'm
always
saying?
know a guy that know a guy. He just be talking out his ass, man.
But
Right.
also, no, but also, don't forget that's why what's the name ended up. That's why he probably ended up retiring. And he said it was a health thing, right? Remember, before Shams, Woj.
Whoa, I remember. Yeah.
Woj used to, I'm saying, I don't know if you ever heard Chris Haynes. You know Chris Haynes, right? The black
Yeah.
reporter, right?
Uh-huh.
He talked about
Yeah.
Woj, that dude Amin about them. And this is what they say. Like when you got the power of ESPN behind you, you steamroll everybody. You come in, you say, okay, let me know about this team so I could look like an expert. And then you go straight to Marks. Marks tells you everything. They don't tell the beat writers hardly nothing. And then you look like, oh, it's another Woj bomb. Or now it's another Shams bomb. But they don't know nothing because they doing is paying for information. That's all they doing.
Well, the thing is, the beat writers know more about the team than
Right.
the big media guys, right?
Fact.
You got
They
guys
do.
like Chris. Hold on, you got guys like Chris Broussard, who's up here talking about. I don't know what the Nets are doing, bro. You don't
Hmm.
know what the Nets are doing because you don't pay attention to the Nets. The
Exactly.
guys like the guys like Pooch, The guys like
Yeah,
guys
I know.
like that
Yeah,
that that
yeah.
that are in the trenches following the team day in and day out. They know what they're doing. You're just a big media talking head. So
Mhm.
you obviously don't know. We get that you don't know.
And that's part of the battle. That's part of the battle of like when you guys keep up these podcasts and all the spaces and all that and stuff. It's like and they sometimes they sneak in. You know they sneaking in. You know they gonna watch this later tonight.
Mhm. Yo, and listen, like I said, I feel like they watching us,
That
especially if you're on Twitter. Twitter is a platform that we can everybody see everybody. And I know they got to see the more consistent content creators. And if you out there and you're in the algorithms on a regular basis, I think they're going to tap into some of these podcasts, especially depending on the title. You know what I mean? You got certain thumbnails and titles that they just gonna listen. Like, oh, all right, I'm on a thumbnail. I'm gonna see what this is about. But I do think they steal some of our talking points. I do. I truly do. I truly do think that they got guys that tap into our content and report back to them. It is what it is. Man. I mean, I just think it's part of the game at this point.
They be
I
in
mean,
the chat under the burner account.
yeah, probably
But
so.
all I'm saying is that's why I don't really listen to big media. I'll be bringing up stuff that Stephen A. Smith say and Chris Brashear say to my friend. They be like, "Man, why you even listen to those dudes?" I'm like, "Bro, I can't help but see them. They're big media. People are going to be reposting their stuff on X and all these apps and all the sound bites that they say. I can't help but seeing it. But I don't go out and actually listen to their shows. I don't watch ESPN, bro. I don't watch First Take. I don't watch none of Stephen A shit. Like I don't. But you're going to hear some of his takes because he's that big, and people are going to keep recycling his content.
You know what's interesting? You know what's interesting since you're mentioning Stephen A? It's almost like I feel like this is almost a repeat of like, what happened with MTV. Like, remember when MTV, it started out music television and it was just a whole bunch of music shows, right? I mean,
Videos and
videos and
shit.
everything, right? Then after a while, they started getting into, what do you call
Reality
that?
TV.
Yeah, reality TV. And the next thing you know, there's no videos on MTV. And it's almost like that with ESPN. It's like you turn to ESPN, there's no games, there's just people arguing. So it's
I
like they've turned it into entertainment more than
And
sports.
not only
So
that, I feel like big
that's what the
media
E is
people.
for, right?
I feel like big media people like Stephen A, people like Chris Brashear, people like Mike Wilbon, when they have a problem with you, they are going to push a narrative. They are going to smear campaign you, and I don't feel like they're always being
Genuine, honest.
non-biased.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
but I think the New York media is more of a Knick fan base. They're definitely going to be biased towards the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I'm saying? They want to establish that
absolutely.
hierarchy, but fuck that. I don't believe in that shit. I believe that this
Everything the
team could be
Brooklyn Nets
competitive.
do, they listen. Everything the Brooklyn Nets do, the media, especially the New York media, they will marginalize. If we do something good, they're going to get quiet about it and act like they didn't see it or didn't hear about it. You understand what I'm saying? Like they're going to speak volumes of everything negative, but the good, they're going to act like they didn't see it or they'll marginalize it. That's what they do.
And also all of the new stuff, like all of the new podcasts and all of them. Some of them are great and insightful, and some are just less so. Because I think I was thinking about Carmelo's thing, and like I would say for months and months, every time I seen, it, I'm like, this is just this is just a bunch of nothing. It's like
What you talking about?
he's not offering any real insight into anything as far as basketball is related. But
But
then, but
yeah,
then once in a while he'll hit on a mark, like the way he did, like with George Carl, like when he
Uh-huh.
started talking about him and stuff. So but I'm saying, but other times it's like, and like his latest take is kind of out there. $100 million ain't really 100 million because
you talking about
they
Carmelo?
tax. Yeah, I'm like that's such an ignorant take. It's like
Oh man,
it's like Hey, I hear
Well,
you.
Melo been rich most of his life, so
Well,
that's why
I
he
don't
That's
talking
what
think
I'm
like
that's.
that.
saying.
Wait, why is that such a bad take? $100 million
Say that
ain't
again.
100. I said, why is that such a bad take? He just letting you know $100 million ain't $100 million in your bank account. If they tax it and you only getting $60 million, even though $60 million is
Oh
still a
man,
lot
I
of
can't
money.
even hear Jay.
Even though
Yeah, but
sixty
all right.
million
So
dollars.
hold on. Let me have that conversation with Jay. For one, Jay, I don't think it is a bad take. I think that he's showing players what contracts really look like after taxes, and I think a lot of players, especially young players, high school, coming out of college, you need to be educated about what these contracts really look like. You thinking like, oh, it's this that. Once you pay everybody and you see what kind of like your net worth is, you like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
But
could
because I
but
know
see
he
how
anyone,
got.
but
players.
any reasonable person knows that when you're in a higher tax bracket, that you're
You
going
pay
to be
more
taxed more.
taxes.
But actually,
Exactly.
now
But
with
these
Trump
kids
in,
is 18
that's
years
not a big
old
deal.
and they not in that
So
higher tax
what I'm
bracket.
saying
They coming
is,
from
because if they
fucking
was really taxed as
nothing.
much as you and I,
Yo,
they
bro,
not
we're
even
we're
taxed at the
40
same
years
percentage as you
old.
and I. We taxed at higher brackets than them dudes.
So I think
Bro,
LBL is saying, like, even though y'all niggas is getting
See what
taxed
they
high,
do is
y'all.
like what they do is they
LBL,
get
can
a.
you hear us?
I can hear you. I can't
Can
hear
you hear
anyone else.
Notori?
Can you
Because
can
they
you hear me,
talking to
LBL?
you.
Okay, let me come out and come back.
Yeah, because they talking to you. They trying to talk to you, your talking points.
I
Um,
think what he's saying is, I don't want to speak from, but what I'm getting from him is like, yo, you still making a lot of money. Like, even though you saying $100 million ain't $100 million, we get it. You're going to get taxed. Everybody knows that when you make a lot of money, you get taxed more, but you're still making a pretty good penny,
but
even
hold on,
after
let's
all of
let's.
that.
But Notorious, let's further the conversation. Jade, let's further the conversation. Let's call it what it is. With this gambling and all of this happening with social media, the realization of it is that these players coming out of college, they have to be financially. They need financial advisors, bro. They need people to protect them. Even AI said it. He's like, "Yo, I'm lucky I had so and so that had my back because they did this, that, and the third with my money, so that way I could have it 20 years later." Whoop de whoop. And I'm saying that to say a lot of these players may not necessarily be disciplined, for lack of better words. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I get some of this from the show I was watching. It's called Playmakers, and it was just talking about how, and it was different, I guess, for the NFL. But you know, in the NFL, more times than not, you play one game a week, and if you're only playing one game a week, you got practice. I'm saying that to say they just had a lot of time to spend their money
Bro,
irresponsibly too, on
you
drugs, on
you
women,
talk to
on
some of these
clubbing.
you talk to some
They,
of these
they,
young black kids from the hood, they don't know what a tax bracket is, bro.
mm-hmm.
And trying to disrespect anybody's intelligence, but they don't know what a lot of them don't know what a tax bracket is, let alone which one they're in currently and what's going to be the difference between the one that they're in right now and when they get $100 million contract.
Well, I feel what you're saying, but I feel like they people set them up for failure, right? And this is why
Hmm.
I say that. Like, we get it. I understand. A lot of these kids this age, not even in the hood, you could be from the suburbs, wherever. They're not going to know about this stuff, right? Shoot, you can be a regular kid getting out of high school or college and on your own, and you have to learn this stuff. My thing
Hmm.
is, if you know this, right? This young man is about to send on all his bread. You got to put the right team around him, right? You got to put the right people around him so he doesn't fail. To just let them just like
But
go out
who's
on
going
their
to do that?
own, huh?
Who's doing that? Who's putting the right people
But
around him?
that's what I'm saying. They should have an accountant. They should have a agent, right? They should have people like that in their corner to help them out. And in the NBA, they go through like a what they call it. It's like an orientation or some shit like that.
Hmm.
The new players do. It's like a 2 weeks or something like that where they have like guest speakers come and talk to them about certain things, finances, women, just certain different traps and stuff like that. Um, I feel like I don't know, like it should be somebody in their corner, um, helping them out with these life decisions until they get a grasp of what's going on.
Right, right, and again, not just them being disciplined, but the contract that they're signing. Like even with this whole thing with Jalen Duren, you know what I mean? I think he's being steadfast because I think he made like the all pro team. He like made some teams where he's supposed to get some incentives and bonuses, and he like, yo, for one, I want the Pistons to. I think he want the Pistons to pay him. Like I'm doing all of this, and you see how I made the team better. It's like
I I think they
he.
said if he signs whatever contract he signs now, his next contract he'll be eligible for the Supermax, which is $287 million. Only
Who is
if he
this?
stays Duran.
It
Oh,
got
okay.
probably
But
like stipulations in it.
yeah,
Like you
if
gotta
only if
do
he
it every
stays
month.
on the
Yeah.
Pistons, he could get that. But
They
if
not
he
getting that nigga that shit, man.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like I think again, it is okay to advise if that's what it is, the player to do what's best and take
But
the
not
most
only
money
that
from
though,
another
Breeze, like
place.
most of
But
these niggas, like I said, most of these
I
niggas
don't
have
know what he's
agents,
gonna do.
obviously. They got financial advisors, they got accountants. You know, you feel what I'm saying? Like a
Mhm.
lot of these niggas just ain't out here with millions of dollars in their bank account and they just like doing whatever with
Oh,
their
it's
bread.
right. But what I'm saying is they young. Social media is hell of a drug, and at the end of the day, I feel like they are in a space where I gotta disagree a little bit, Joey. I feel like they just feel like they got it, and they don't know the magnitude of the rate they're spending their money. It's like it's there. I'm spending it. I'm gonna make it back. I'm a millionaire. Of course, I'm gonna have more money. But just the whole, all right, I need to only spend $7,000 this week, and just spend $7,000 every week, and I don't go above that. And if I do, I'm above my means, and so on and so forth. I just think
I feel
it's
like I
they
still
don't have
feel
that.
like most of them start getting in uncharted waters when they start paying for finances of other people. When you start paying for your
Hmm.
sister's education and your
Hmm.
three nieces' education, and you start
Hmm.
paying for your four aunts Porsche car
but
payments, and
that's the
Yeah,
reason
you
why they do it for. They doing it for the family.
yeah.
yeah. But they could bleed you
But what
dry
I'm saying is,
financially if you
you
ain't
can get
careful.
bled out like that, right? It
Yeah,
has to be a point. Like I'm saying, don't take care of your family, but you
right.
can't pay for everything.
Nice.
That's all.
Yo, and on that note,
And and that team of people that you was talking about cost money too. That accountant, that this one, that one. Them
yeah,
Absolutely,
niggas all
but you
cost
got
money.
absolutely.
And
But
yeah,
but
but
and
but
you
they
all
but
gotta
niggas that
they
steal money
but
from you too if you pick the
that's
wrong
true,
one.
Jay.
yeah,
Absolutely. But they're providing a
yeah,
service. They're supposed to get paid.
Right.
exactly.
That's
But
just I'm just
again,
saying besides the taxes, all of those people is shit that eat up your money too.
right,
Sure.
but
Yeah, I agree.
right. I agree with both of y'all. Yeah, I think we all making valid points. I'm just bringing the show to the end because it's 3 hours, and I started as soon as I got home for the most part. And I want to be. I got a busy
But
day, but I want to be able to be up and watch this game tomorrow. I don't know. It's gonna be tough for me to watch. I'm gonna be with the family, but I'm gonna try to watch this game tomorrow. And you know what I'm saying? We had Juneteenth already. Y'all already know what it is. But
It's
enjoy the
Juneteenth the
holiday tomorrow.
remix, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? To be enjoy tomorrow, you know what I mean? And shout to Scott, shout to LBL. I'm just ending the show, LBL. That's why I ain't throw the link in the chat, but I seen you, bro. Shout to Apartment Gaming and more, Devon, NYC, everybody in the chat, everybody that's a member, all of the
Nah, he just ain't shout you out because you ain't sent a super chat, man. We was just talking about them super chat. You get ignored without the super chat. Nah,
Nah,
I'm
nah,
fucking with you. Nah, I'm
I ain't
fucking
doing
with
nothing
you.
like
It's just
that.
because me and LBL was already talking about that earlier. He was mad at the super chats anyway.
Oh yeah, shout to LBL, shout to
But shout
everybody
out to
that's showing
LBL.
support the way you could. And again, man, you gotta remember, man, we ain't big media until we big media. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the Nets fans. We the best fans. Y'all know the champagne campaign 0 to 1. Hashtag we gonna shock the world. And thank y'all for tuning
yo,
in, man. We'll be back. Well, what up, Notorious?
no, real quick, did y'all hear that shit? What what's his name? Lou Will said he's like most players get divorced after they retire because they don't have that money or that lifestyle to really be like to keep up with their women or their wives. He said
Nah, I
usually
ain't see
you
that.
play and you're away and
Uh, yeah, no. I ain't see that, but that could be the next episode. That's gonna be NBA Housewives. Next episode, NBA Housewives. We're gonna
Nigga
find out why they gonna stay married. But yeah, man, y'all know it's love, man. Nets fans is the best fans. We're gonna be back with more content really soon, y'all. Peace.
All right, later.
Peace.